Hello everybody, welcome to Laurence Plays, where I'm currently in a supercar, which is convenient. I don't think, I think the problems with the audio were my user error, not YouTube's, so I can't blame it for that. So this is Manhunt Checkpoint. For anyone who's new to the game, that means basically I am the prey. That means I'd have to drive around the city and I have to collect some checkpoints. There's going to be 5 of them around the city. I'm given them one at a time as I drive around, and as I take each one, I'll be given a new one. Simple. In order to make it a little bit harder, because just driving around the city, not that exciting and also fairly easy, there are some other people in the game, and they're playing as hunters, and I forgot to turn the circle back on, so there we go, there's a circle on. So they're playing as the hunters. Their job is to try and kill me before I take all the checkpoints. They will do this by driving around the city, looking for me, and trying to, basically if they identify me, then they'll try and ram me off my car off the road, then they'll try and shoot me because they're not lovely like that. If they manage to kill me, then they win. So, you know, it works either way. There are objectives for everybody. Now, the city is quite a big place, so in order to make things a little bit easier for them, we have we have things to help them find me. And in this particular game mode, we have a circle that appears on their maps. It doesn't appear on mine, I don't know where the circle is, but it appears on their maps, and they know that I'm always somewhere inside that circle. So, and this is sort of guaranteed, because if I ever touch the circle will jump and move to somewhere else, so that I'm always kept inside it. The circle also shrinks a little bit, so the faster over time to try and encourage me to go quickly. But it also gets bigger and smaller depending on what speed I'm doing. So the faster I drive, the smaller it gets. And this is to encourage me to drive around in a sort of a fairly sensible way, as I am at the moment. We have another rule as well for... Here come some hunters. Okay, they've missed me. Right, so that was Mike in the orange and Pete in the dark green there. So they've driven straight past me without noticing me, which is basically what I want to happen. So I'm happy with that. That's interesting. There's still a blue car here from the last run. That shouldn't be there, but never mind. So they are restricted on what cars they're allowed to drive. They're not allowed to drive any good cars unless they've seen me driving a car of the same class already. So at the moment, I'm driving an SUV, which is one of the freebies, the gimmies that you get at the start of the game. So at the beginning of the game, they're allowed to drive compacts, sedans, and SUVs, and that has no effect. Oh, apparently I did the command wrong to get rid of the cars. Oh well, never mind. Can't do anything about it now. Well, I could, but it would have some sort of silly effect, like all the cars would disappear. So if I see any of them driving a car I think they shouldn't be driving, then I can blow them up using one of the commands in my abilities menu, which is can I load it? Yes, I can. Up in here, in my in the abilities, I have an option to detonate illegal hunters. And if I do that, then any hunter who's driving a car in a class that I haven't unlocked for them yet will explode. Nice. Now, I don't want to just do that at random times just for fun. I mean, it could be quite funny, but it's a lot more effective if I do it when there's a hunter behind me chasing me in one of those cars, because then I have a tactical advantage to doing it, and it kind of, you know, spoils their day a little bit because they've just blown up when they're in mid-chase. And if I'm really lucky, they'll be driving close enough to another hunter that both of them will go out in the same explosion. Now, I have to be fairly lucky for that to happen, but it's not impossible. And if I was being really tactical, I might try and watch to see when they get a bit fairly close together. So at the moment, I've not used any extra car classes. That was a very orange SUV over there. I think that's probably Mike. So there aren't any extra ones unlocked. So if I see anyone driving around in a sports car, I can just blow them up and get rid of them. Right, so there's the first checkpoint ahead of me. I'm sort of waiting at this. There we go, there's a green light. I was waiting at the red light because I'm trying to blend in with the traffic. Because the best way to stop them spotting me, I reckon, is to drive around the city fairly slowly and calmly and try to obey most of the traffic laws. Now, I will sometimes run red lights because I don't want to be too much of a sitting duck. In fact, Mike is over there coming this way. I'm just gonna sit here at this traffic light. He's found a queue of quite a lot of cars, and that used to be a sign that there's a player in the area. And to be fair, there is a player in the area, so he's investigating them all and seeing if any of them are me. There's a green light. Let's get out of here. Now, I'm supposed to stop in checkpoints before I take them. So there we go, I'll do that. There's an explosion, checkpoint goes, that's the first checkpoint taken. Nice. So now, after a 30... Oh, so this time, there's been what we call checkpoint effects. And that's when I take a checkpoint, there's a roughly 50% chance of something silly happening. In this particular occasion, the silly thing that's happened is that everybody has been given a 2-star wanted level. So that means for at least for a minute or few, we have to worry about police cars coming around, turning up and harassing us. So I'm going to go and hide in this car park because I think that's probably a good way to hide from the police. It's not such a good way to hide from the hunters because they're going to know that I'm just sitting around still in a single area. But I might be able to find a better car. No, it's a sports car. That's a sports car. I don't want to escalate to sports cars if I can avoid it. But if I see a nice muscle car, then I might take it. But I think I might actually already have about the best car I can get without causing confusion and upset to myself. Now those are all sports cars. I don't want to. Apparently the police can see me because my wanted level wasn't flashing. Oh no, there we go. It's gone now. Okay, it was doing the slow flashing that it does at the end when you very, very nearly lost it. So from here, I'm going to be fairly foolish. This is probably foolish and is going to damage my car, and I'm going to regret it as soon as I land. But I'm going to take the jump off the top of here because I think that'll be a good way to get down and just carry on without having to drive all the way down through the. Oh, I'm going to land in the tennis courts. Right. Now this is probably going to be a sufficiently large car that I can't get it out of here. How do you get out? Oh, there's a tunnel over there. Let's see if I can get it out. I mean, I wasn't. Yeah, there we go. I can open these gates. Okay, so I've got there's not very much damage on here. It seems to be basically okay. Yeah, that was a silly way of getting down from there, but you know, what do I have to lose? Right, so my next checkpoint is docks entrance. What's the best way to get there? Police car. Yeah, I think I've acquired a mic. Also acquired some police cars, but they're less of a. Oh no, I actually have a wanted level as well now. Thanks, Mike. Much appreciated. What you doing? Okay. Oh, okay. There's a sports car chasing me, so this is the perfect opportunity to do this and this and this. And there we go. That's got rid of that. Pete was chasing me in a car that he was clearly not allowed to use. So because he was being a naughty boy and chasing me in a sports car, I get to blow him up, and that's always very satisfying. I, however, do still have quite a lot of police attention, so I'm going to try and get out of here reasonably sharpish. We've got flashing now. That's good. That's a good start. The wanted level's nearly gone, and I think I've mostly lost the hunters, and I haven't even turned the circle off. Oh no, police! Where's it going? Is it coming this way? Of course it is. Come in. It's nearly away as well. Can I go up here? No. What I can do though is go over here. Oh no, the police have caught up with me. This is not going to go well. I'm going to get shot to death now. If I get killed all the way to death, by the police, I'm not going to be happy. After doing a reasonable. Where are all the cars? I'm on a highway. Where are all the cars? Okay, I need a vehicle. I didn't really want that one, but no, they're shooting at me. No. If I die to the police, I should be very upset. Okay, I'm taking this Futo. I don't want a Futo because it's a sports car, but it's not a very good one. But it does mean the hunters are now allowed to drive sports cars. Whoa. Yes, the hunters are now allowed to drive sports cars, which is a real shame. However, hopefully they don't know that they're allowed to drive sports cars, and maybe this time I'll actually be able to get away from the cops before too much ridiculousness happens. Now, okay, I'm out of sight of them now, so I only have to worry. Let's not drive to the police station just over here. That'd be bad. Oh, that was bad. I was too busy looking at the map instead of, you know, actually where I'm trying to drive. Oh, and there's cops ahead of me again. Oh, bloody cops! This checkpoint effect is really getting on my nerves now because it's just taking. Oh no, and there's Mark as well. Let's slow down a bit, see if I can convince him that I'm just a... Yes, there we go. Mark was convinced I was just a normal car there. There's a tugboat up there for some reason. I don't know why there's a tugboat up there. That should not have spawned. I mean, there is a checkpoint effect where a tugboat will spawn in. But I'm pretty sure there isn't a checkpoint up there, so that shouldn't have happened. There's a tugboat there as well. What is going on? That looks like Ed. Oh no, maybe not actually. That's the wrong shade of yellow. Okay, I think things might have finally calmed down a little bit. So now I can go back to my original plan. There's tugboats blooming everywhere. What is going on? Somebody is playing silly what's names in the game. Oh, okay, right, yes. it has been pointed out to me by chat that the tugboats are there from when we were messing around earlier before we started, because I didn't run the clear vehicles command properly. Okay, well, oh yeah, and that's why there's a broken aeroplane up there as well. Right. Okay, I'll try that. I'll try and do it properly next time, but you know, the game seems to be basically working, so let's not worry about it too much. In fact, if I remember about that, then I might be able to use those to my advantage. So, now I need to get over to the docks entrance in order to get the next checkpoint. And it's quite a drive, but it's off in that sort of general direction. I know the way to get there. The question is, what's the best way to get there without telegraphing to the hunters that that's where I'm going? So there's a good couple of checkpoints in the ghetto area. So if I hang around here for a little while, they might think that I'm going for either Ghetto Rails Cross or Ghetto Church. Ooh, Ed's driving a coupe. He's not allowed to drive coupes because I haven't driven one yet. I've only driven sports cars. Now it's slightly mean to blow up someone up when they're driving a coupe and I'm driving a sports car, because I mean technically he's not allowed to, but it is still a worse car than the one I'm driving. Ooh, let's use the oops, that wasn't what I meant to do. Sorry, Ed. I didn't mean to blow you up then. I mean, it's your own fault, really, but I actually meant to just spawn an AI to get in my car with me. Press the wrong button. That was genuinely an honest mistake, I promise you. Because it would be much better for me to blow him up while we're in a chase, like I did earlier with with Pete. But oh well. I have now notified the hunters that I have not yet driven a coupe. Oh, it's worse than that. Mark is driving around in a sports car, so I've not only have I notified them that I haven't driven a coupe, I've also notified them that I have driven a sports car, and therefore it's safe to be driving sports. That's a shame. Oh well, never mind. It just means they'll all be driving sports cars now. Which is fair enough, I suppose. I think I've got the radio on. Let's see if I turn that on. Yeah, my character was dancing. Whoop. How did Pete not notice that? I drove incredibly badly then. I sort of tried to accelerate when there... well, I did a big wheel spin on the acceleration. Right, so the question is, do I want to go left here? Or do I want to... No, I want to go a bit further. I think there's another bridge across that takes me down closer to the dock's entrance. Suddenly, everybody. Get lost, please. Please go away. They're not investigating me, but they're very much in the area, and that makes me worried and paranoid. Okay, they're all going away now. Whew. Right, okay. I'm not waiting for a green light. I'm getting out of here while the getting's good, while they're distracted and elsewhere. So let's go this way and just get out of here. So if I head down this road here, this will take me over to the docks, general docks area. And from there, then I can hopefully hop over the... Well, I can hop over the storm drain and get quite close to dock's entrance, but I will need to then wiggle my way down there. There we go, there's a green light. Good. It's good timing there. Let's take this lane because I am going to want to turn left at the end of the road. There's nothing here. Hey Peter, welcome to the stream. Yes, so this should be something fairly maniacal to do for the next hour or so. Yeah, I'm currently on the approach to a checkpoint. Things are going. I was going to say things are going quite well, but actually I'm only on the second checkpoint, and there's already been a fair amount of shenanigan. So, but I'm not dead, so you know I'll take that. That's good from my point of view. I'm happy with that. So I'll bimble up to this checkpoint here, and stamp on the brake so that I can take it. Car is stationary. Checkpoint is taken. Car is blue again. This is. I have a feeling that the game settings appear to be exactly the same as last time we played, in that... Oh, I'm going into Elysian Island, this is bad. Yeah, I've had the same... I feel like I've had the same checkpoints in the same order, with the same checkpoint effects. So, I don't know whether my lack of resetting the game properly has meant the randomization is balked, or whether something weird is happening. But I'm going to change out of my blue car into... Yes, it's a muscle car. But the Buccaneer is basically okay. We're going to run over the guy who's linked from, which is a bit rude. It's just occurred to me that the jacket my guy is wearing matches the car I've just got out of. So we're not actually playing GTA 5. We're not playing any of the sort of the built-in game missions or anything like that because yeah, they're a little bit dull. What we've got is we've got a programmed mode that we call Manhunt Checkpoint, and the idea is that I have to drive around the city trying to collect the checkpoints, and there's a bunch of lunatics, as you can see there, driving around trying to stop me getting the checkpoints. So at the moment I've taken 2 of them. I now need to get all the way up to Casino Bridge. I've just been notified, which is north of here, so I'm heading in the wrong direction at the moment, but that is a thing that can be fixed. I can actually turn this car, just about. I mean, it's a muscle car, but if you slow down enough, it will turn a little bit. So we're using the GTA 5 world as an open sandbox for us to drive around and try and play our own games in, basically. Because essentially, if we can go in and write our own rules, it creates a bit more variety and a bit more interest over what the game has built in, and it means we don't have to play with the general public, which is always a bonus. So, yes, I now need to drive some way north up the city, which is I'm going in a rather wiggly route at the moment, but yeah, we'll get there eventually. That yellow car, that was a green light just about. Just about. Nobody obeys traffic laws in real life anyway, so it's fine. Change to this lane, another green light. So, okay, I'm heading in more or less the right direction now. So if I hang a left here at this junction... hello, Mark. Okay, apparently Mark has found me, so I have to admit, I wasn't driving at my absolute best and smoothest at that point, so sure, I guess that's probably how he found me. Let's try and use the chase to get me a little bit closer to the checkpoint. So, actually, no, let's go down here, just because I can. I'm trying to remember where this tunnel takes me. I think this one takes me over to... Oh, yeah, I remember this, but yeah, actually, this is quite good. If I follow these railway lines a bit over this way, then I can take this all the way up to sort of the Mirror Park type area of the city, and nobody's following me, so that's great. And then from there, I can change cars again, try and find something a little bit better than this muscle car, and then from there, in fact, you can see the checkpoints, that red glow sort of on the horizon there under the Vinewood sign. So I'm heading in a pretty good direction at the moment. I slowed down too much there. Let's try and get through here. I can never remember whether these blue hoardings are breakable or not, so I'm going to not worry about it and just go out like that instead. Okay, I really need to change vehicles now because they're going to be behind. They're going to be somewhere behind me. They've spotted my vehicle and it's had all its headlights smashed. So probably should have followed those up there. Let's see if I head back a little bit into Vinewood here. Ooh, there's a Fusillade. Let's take the black Fusillade, partly because black cars are harder to see in the dark, and it is dark, and also because I feel that because this is not a parked car, and if you steal a parked car, then you have to smash its window to get into it, so you end up with a car with a broken window, and it's one of the ways that the hunters might notice my vehicle. Right, so the checkpoint is basically straight through the middle of that building. So if I go up here and then take a right at the top of this hill, that'll bring me straight out towards the checkpoint and probably the waiting arms of 2 or 3 of the hunters who've guessed where I'm going and are sat there guarding it in order to try and jump me. Of course, the longer I wait here at a red light, the more likely the more time it gives the hunters to get over here and sort of turn up and try and pull some sort of shenanigan. So, but I do have a Fusillade, so. It's one of the better cars available. It's a sports car, and it's quite a good sports car out of what's available. So if I do get into a chase, then I'm going to be in with a reasonable chance, unless of course Mike just appears out of nowhere and T-bones me for no apparent reason. Presumably they've recognised my character model and they're out just looking for the splodge of pale blue on the on his clothing, and that's how he spotted me. I have to assume because I mean the car was stationary. There's no way I was doing anything remotely suspicious there. Yes, GTA's damage does have an effect on the car's handling. It is mostly cosmetic, but especially with some of the more enhanced damage modes on, as you take more and more damage, the car does start to handle worse and worse. A lot of it is just that the car doesn't go quite as quickly as it would otherwise have done. Oh, I thought I was through there, but apparently not. Yeah, a lot of it is just the car doesn't handle as well as it does when it's not damaged. But it does. Sorry, yeah, it doesn't handle as well and it slows it down a bit. But it definitely, yeah, there is definitely some effect from picking up damage from crashes. Oh no. Okay. Felt like the carousel on the Nürburgring. Right, so I'm still going to go for the checkpoint, because we have a new rule these days where I'm allowed to take checkpoints even when I'm in a chase, as long as I stop in the checkpoints to take them. And I'm borderline in a chase at the moment, so... Stop! Take checkpoint. Don't get out of the car. I said don't get out, there's a... Ow, that's a tugboat. Get back in the car. I said get back in the car. Alright, run away. What is going on? Hide around the tugboat. Hide in the tugboat. No, don't hide in the tugboat. That's a bad idea. Run away! Run away! I think when I pressed the take checkpoint button, I accidentally pressed the get out of car button at the same time. So that was entirely user error and a massive fail on my part. And I'm not going to be able to climb over that because it's got barbed wire on it. And everyone's going to see me run in here, probably. Or maybe they haven't. Let's turn the circle off. Like that. And make them think, hopefully make them think I've escaped, I've fled and run away. And I'll duck a little bit behind here, so hopefully I'm slightly less obvious than I was before. Now there's a nice pair of tugboats there that has caused sufficient confusion that me running in and out of them like a lunatic has might have led to an escape. Now we've got hunters shooting probably any random pedestrian they can see, which is a smidge unfortunate if you're a random pedestrian. No, but Mike is still around here, so I've turned the circle off, which is supposed to mean the hunters will all assume I've left the area and driven on and drive off. It doesn't seem to work like that. They are just now lurking in the area, so this is a little bit worrying. However, I have managed to hide, and they don't know where I am, so this is pretty good as these things go. Oh, he's back again. Yeah, he's definitely looking around. Oh no. He's shooting at... I don't know what he's shooting at. I don't think it's me. Because I don't think he can see me. But I need to get out of here somehow. Maybe he's just bursting the tyres on all the cars around here to stop me wanting to steal them. Ambulance has just driven headlong into the side of the tugboat. So yeah, that's another of the checkpoint effects that I was mentioning. Sometimes random tugboats appear and just fall out of the sky like that, and the ambulance has fallen over. Right, things have calmed down a little bit. There's still shooting going on, but things have calmed down a little bit. I don't know whether it's safe for me to try and escape. Nope, there's Mark. Don't see me, don't see me, don't see me. Don't be looking in here. Oh, I hate it when I end up just hiding for ages somewhere. I think he might have seen me. Maybe not. Nope, nope, he's going away. I hate it when I end up hiding in a place for ages because well, partly because it's not the most interesting, although it is absolutely terrifying for me, I can promise you. But also because it's, yeah, it feels, I don't know, I feel helpless basically. Let's run over here. I'm pretending to be a terrified AI. I don't know if that's not going to work actually because I'm doing the wrong sort of thing. An AI wouldn't actually drop down here like this. But maybe if I can get in here and hide, and then hopefully get a replacement car and just skedaddle, to be quite honest with you. Did any of them follow me off there? I didn't hear the sort of the crashes and bangs you get when cars drop off there. So I think I might be alright. If I can now... I mean, I'm in a silly, silly place, but if I can get onto the highway and just steal a car without getting run over, hopefully. Like this. There we go. Right, okay, so now I can carry on moving. I hadn't really remembered about my stun gun, because I never do. I assume do I have it? Yes, I do have my stun gun, but it's very, very short range, so I'm not sure how much I'd be able to actually do with it. But let's turn the circle back on again. Airport loop exit again. Oh, for goodness sake! I got this in the last run as well, and it was horrible then as well. Okay, what's the best way to get to airport loop exit? This is not the best way to get to airport loop exit, but I'm going to do this while I think a little bit. I think what I'm going to do, is cross the highway here without looking at all, and then head back into town this way. So my plan now is to go with a decent amount of speed along here, and then take the left turn somewhere towards the end. And so let's see. As we come along here, there's a tugboat in the middle of the road because we were having some fun earlier, and I don't know what I'm doing, so I didn't clean up properly after myself. And then here we go. This is the exit with the left turn. So there are there's 5 checkpoints in a run. So if I manage to take all 5 of them, then I win. If the hunters manage to kill me, then they win. Simple as that. Yeah, it's good fun. Yeah, I recommend watching the videos. Only the best runs tend to make it into videos because the amount of time it takes to make a video compared to the amount of time it takes to do a run means that we're quite critical about them. So how does this road? What happens here? Oh yeah, I do want to go straight on here. Just trying to remember how the map works. Oh hey, Berkeley. Yes, the audio earlier was my fault. I apologise for that. I didn't get the because I'm not used to streaming from Windows. I hadn't got all the settings set up properly, and I was only streaming. It turns out I was only streaming Discord audio, which since I wasn't in the Discord chat was completely useless. Yeah, so sorry about that. Normal or correct service has now been assumed. So I'm going to come off the motorway here. Hang a left down here. Now this is my least favourite checkpoint because there's to be fair, there's 3 ways to get to it. But once you start going towards it, you're really stuck out on a limb, and it makes you really obvious to the hunters where you're going. So you have to be quick about it. Try and snatch it, and then get out of there before they realise where you're going. It's by a significant margin, the hardest checkpoint in the game to take. So what I'm going to go round the loop this time, because that way I don't actually need to slow down as much. So if I come around here at a certain amount of speed, and then slow down as I approach the checkpoint, this is a cunning plan. It won't work, but it's a cunning plan nonetheless. Slow down, so don't look suspicious. There aren't any hunters here anyway. Take the checkpoint. Then just skedaddle like this. And if I don't see any hunters this way, I'm going to leave this way because this is the easy. There's a hunter. Oh, there's a hunter. He's gone straight past me. Excellent. Whew. Normally, when this sort of thing happens, any hunter who's coming in that way is just checking every single car to see if they're me, and things usually go quite badly. That time, for some reason, Mark wasn't checking vehicles, so I got away with it. I'm not going to complain. That's a surprisingly good result for me. Okay, so now I need to get over to oil fields. That finally is a different checkpoint from the last run, so happy with that. And that is basically just due east from here, but I need to get back out of the canyons around the edge of the storm drain. Whoa! He did. Yes, Mark did drive past me. Now Mark and Mike have both appeared. Mike has a rather large vehicle, which I'm going to have to drive round or attempt to drive round. That's a bit of a mission. Right, let's get out of here. Mike is doing a reasonably good job of keeping up, given that he's basically driving a low-loader truck. Oh, smash. Now I'm just going to try and get out of here. Now, I do have a reasonably good car. I've got myself a Shafter. No, Schwarzer, sorry. The one that is a sports car this time. Nudge, nudge. So, with a bit of... that said, Mark is chasing me in a Fusillade, so he is also in a sports out car of reasonably similar specs. That said, I did manage to drop a traffic light in his way, so that's going to help me a little bit. But I'm just going to flee down the highway like this, because this is the direction I actually want to go in. So this is good for me, and just generally good for getting... Well, I was going to say good for getting away, but I don't seem to actually be getting away. I am basically leaving the city now, though, which is not what I'm supposed to do. Now, it doesn't actually matter. It's not considered cheating or anything like that, because there's no actual advantage or gain to me for leaving the city. But it is basically futile, because there's no point in leaving the city, because it'll just take me away from where all the checkpoints are, and because the hunters have the circle, they're always going to be able to track roughly where I've gone. So, ooh, train. Oh, roll the car, get back where. Oh, another train. Ah! I always have... I think it's because I'm not really a console gamer. Is this gate going to open for me? No. Yes, eventually. Thank you. I think it's because I'm not a console gamer, so I'm not really used to using controllers to look around. So I'm not very good at keeping my camera under control and looking in the right direction. Oh dear, I'm going to lose some tyres here. This is bad. Yeah, that's a tyre. Ah, I'm in trouble. Okay, I'm in a lot of trouble now. Oh well, I am in trouble if I'm still in a chase. However, if I've managed to get sufficiently far, oh, Pete's gone down there. That's a big help for me. If I can not be in a chase, so circle off. Definitely circle off because I've lost a tyre. If I can not be in a chase, then not having lost a tyre doesn't really matter. I just need to switch cars. If there's anyone behind me, I'm probably doomed. Oh, you see what I mean about the car just not handling nicely when it's short of some tyres. So I'm going to get out here without even looking, which is a bad idea. Let's take the Sultan. Oh no! That's a good car. Turn the circle back on again, and now I can head back over towards the checkpoint. Yeah, following the train tracks would probably have made a lot of sense. I didn't because of reasons. Yeah, because I was too busy trying to get the car pointed in a direction where I'd be able to just go and get out of there, and other things like that. I'm starting to regret a little bit having worn this rather brightly coloured hoodie for this run. There's nobody around though, so I'm going to carry on going. I am reasonably close to that final checkpoint, and I'm in a reasonably good car. And the Sultan is one of those. Oh dear, there's Mark behind me. Let's turn here and hope he doesn't follow me. What's that? Now, if I get caught now, I feel like it's kind of my own fault for just driving so badly there and probably giving myself away. There's Ed in a police car. Mark is following me. Let's take another right turn, and then head off up this road. Yeah, Mark is definitely following me. Obviously, knocking over a street light is not a very AI way to drive. I can sort of understand that. So yeah, once again I'm being chased because I drove badly, and that's got me spotted. This is usually how these games tend to go, I have to admit. So let's take a bit of a shortcut across there. Hopefully I won't hit a tree. I didn't hit a tree. I did hit a tree. Encountered a Mike as well a little bit. Yep, there he is. Right, so from here, what should we do? Well, I'll head a little bit down south. There's a tugboat up there again, as usual. Okay, so the Fusillade seems to be a little bit faster than the Sultan. Although, I've got away from him a little bit there. Let's try a corner there. A little bit of slide, but not too bad. Still got Mike behind me, but I've got rid of Mark, at least for now. Let's turn the circle off again, because, chase. Let's drive around this car rather than through it, because that's generally a good idea. I can pull off a corner here, and then drop down here, maybe? Yes, because I think if I come down here, then I can turn right here, hopefully without too much sliding, and then go back across this way. I don't know if that's going to be a good dodge or not. Let's look behind. Yes, it has been. Circle back on, drive through a street light, as is traditional. Now, I don't want to go straight for the oil fields checkpoint, because it's too soon. I've only just turned the circle back on. That's not fair. So I need to give the hunters a bit of a chance to make sure they're back in the circle. So I'm going to carry on driving this way. I should have changed vehicle by now. Now I haven't, granted, but I should have done. So let's see what we can find over here. Alright, let's use a Futo. It's not the best of cars, but hopefully it's going to be at least slightly subtle. I'm going to run this red light because I don't want to hang around here. Now if I come up this way, I'm hoping that the way I was driving is going to brought the circle down far enough towards the what do you call it? The docks checkpoint. Now I have already taken the docks checkpoint, but they might not remember that. They might have forgotten exactly which ones have been taken, and so I might get a clear run round to the oil fields checkpoint, and then hopefully be able to run away from it without too much hassle from them. Because this is the final checkpoint. If I can take this one and then escape from any chases that ensue, then I've won the game, and that's always very satisfying. Because, well, I didn't win the first one, so I can hear a siren. Now that's probably Ed. It sounds like it's quite a long way off in the distance though, so that means I can come down here, stop in the checkpoint, grab the checkpoint before Mike notices me. Mike is also in a Futo, I think. Yeah. Was that an Oracle? No, it can't be. Mike wouldn't drive an Oracle, would he? Maybe it's probably a Futo. Right, okay. So now we've got what we call the final hunt. And this is basically, at the end of the game, I have to prove that I wasn't in a chase when I took the last checkpoint. and I kind of wasn't. Oh dear, that's great. You can do that. Yes, Mike is also in a futo. Yeah, I have to prove that I'm either that I'm not in a chase, or at least that I'm able to get out of a chase. Well, what did I hit then? And so, in order to do that, I have to get so that I am at least several hundred meters. I think it's 500 meters away from any of the hunters, and I have to have been 500 meters away from them for at least 20-30 seconds, something like that. So at the moment, I've got Ed, but I think that's probably Ed in the police car, still behind me. So I need to get away from him. Tugboat. So at the moment, I was considering going off on the dirt track that goes up and around the back of that mountain over there, but I think that's probably a bad idea. 2 tugboats, this is getting ridiculous. So I think first I'm going to cross the city a bit, try and get a bit of distance down. Oh, and I'm going to get distracted by chat and get pile driven by Ed. So at least on the flip side, that has thrown a little bit of. Oh, he's right behind me now. I can see Max is trying to give me advice, which I can't. Which I'm concentrated too hard on the road to read it. Careful driving is better. Yes, it's true. Ed has just very, very slowly driven into the wall. I don't know what was going on there. Right, so yes, yeah. If I drive at sort of 90% rather than 110%, I might be slightly. Oh, maybe it was lag that made him look as if he was going into the wall, and he actually wasn't, because he certainly didn't there. Well, he caught up rather too well for if he'd actually driven into the wall as I thought he had. So I need to do something interesting to get away from him. He's dropped back a bit. That's a good start. Now, one of the things I do far too often is have Pete drive across right in front of me like that. That was actually a really convenient lamppost. If I hadn't hit that, he'd probably T-boned me. So let's just go in and out of the tugboats as we go along here. Now it sounds like, yeah, Ed has definitely dropped back a bit. So let's get back around this way. Try and shenanigan my way around. There's so many tugboats. Oh no. Right. So yeah, I think I'm no longer being chased. So at this point, my best bet is to try and put some speed and some distance down, even if it is in a dead straight line, which this clearly is. So drive round that oracle, not into it, so I very nearly did. Head down this way, past the monument, and sort of off into the distance, and hopefully this will be enough distance and run and time and stuff that I will get away from them. This Futo is a slidey car. That's presumably why Max was saying the especially in the Futo. Oh, Max tried to go too close to that one. That did not work at all. But as far as I can tell, yep, there we go. They've all blown up now, so say I've won. So thank you very much for watching. That was a good run. There was some chases and some shenanigans, but I finally managed to win it. So that's what I like from a run. So thank you for watching, and there'll be another one starting quite soon. Oh, here's a car park. Let's stop in the car. Park neatly. There we go. Right.
Up there.
I noticed. Here they are.
That was a very chasey run.
Tristan's muted. I don't know if he knows this or not.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
It's so he can squeal with delight when
that last bit was intense.
I can laugh at things that you guys are doing or saying without giving anything away.
Being spoilery. Yep, that makes perfect sense. My beer's empty. I'm going to go and grab another one, but I shall be back in a moment.
Thirsty work.
It is very thirsty work, and I need to keep myself in the Balmer Peak. So I rely on you guys to keep chat entertained. I shall be back in a moment. Thank you, Max. Much appreciated.
I noticed there's quite a lot of chat. I'm only looking between the runs.
Oh man, that was Max. I'm sure Max knew that was my police car chasing him for that last bit. That was intense.
Laurence knew it was you and had said your name and things. Although when he was leaving the airport, he didn't realise Mark was following him.
Yep.
He was saying, "Oh, Mark's driven past me and not spotted me. Normally people check all the cars there." and then I could just casually hear him saying, "Oh, and I'm fine now," as Mark is also whittering, saying, He's doing this now. He's doing this. Well, the stream lag makes that interesting.
Hello,
Oh, yeah.
chat.
I was quite proud as I spotted him when he was in the light blue car, because he didn't do anything wrong. I was just, I don't know, subconsciously sus of that car.
Hmm.
Interesting. So, chat, if you have any ideas for further runs that we can do on a live stream, put them into the chat. We will certainly consider them.
Is there someone beside Max in the chat?
Who knows?
Yes, I'm in there.
Max and
Peter's in
Peter
there.
and a guy called Berkelier is
And
in the
Berk-
chat as well. So, or
yeah.
at least he was earlier. So
Good evening, all. Hope you're well.
this is only my second beer, Peter. So I'm not doing. It's not too bad. And I find I play. I was going to say I drive better after a beer. No, I play GTA better after a beer. That's a more accurate way to put it.
Tristan
Or at least-
was just saying that when you left Airport Loop that you thought I didn't spot you, but I did.
Oh, okay. You drove past me without investigating. So.
No, but I just.
He then
turned around
followed
and
you all the way out.
Nah. Yeah, I suppose I probably made it fairly obvious that was me by accelerating once you'd gone past. So I wanted to get away from you.
Yep. And I'm playing with the mouse, so I can look around quite easily.
Ah,
And I
okay.
just saw you heading off like at a high speed towards airport jump.
Okay. Well, I can't have everything, I suppose. Right. Let's pick
For
a
the
different character
checkpoint
first.
wanted levels thing, I'm inclined to suggest removing that because
No?
it's sometimes basically it doesn't reset the maximum wanted level to 0 afterwards.
Oh right.
Yeah, but we can do that manually, right?
Let's do
As
that
we
manually,
remember.
Ryan. 1, 2,
Yeah,
max.
but I know Laurence doesn't.
Yeah, I don't want I don't want to have that.
Yeah, so sucks for him, but
We did actually try HGVs quite a long time ago, Peter. It turned out to not work very well because it's basically impossible to escape because the chase is so slow that as soon as you get into a chase, you can't get away because you can't nip round a corner and shoot off round another corner because the truck that's chasing you will also be just round the corner as well. So clear.
I've chased you in AGVs occasionally, but
Yeah, I mean, for the hunters, an HGV is valid because you can make an excellent roadblock with them. But we did a sort of everyone in a cement truck run once, a long time ago. That was back when we were playing Manhunt controller, so when Mike was bossing everyone around.
Yep.
But
I
what
remember that
about
one.
the garbage truck run, right?
You are looking totes delicious.
That run ended with you got stuck in a one-way area. You couldn't possibly get out, and the two guys just laying into you machine guns from behind, but the back of the cab was bulletproof, so as long as you didn't get out of the cab, you were safe.
or as
It
long
was
as
one
they
of
didn't-
those ramps that went down into a car park, but the shutter was
Yeah.
closed.
Yeah. So they couldn't get round properly. Eventually, one of them went round on top, got you through from.
Yeah, but I
Or was
think
it
at
the
least
police
one
that
of them
got
also
this
got the police got quite involved as well because we were playing. That was back
Yep.
in the old days when we played in GTA Online rather than in 5M. In fact, one of the best things about 5M, it occurred to me, is that I can go and get another drink without getting disconnected from the session.
That was
Very
always
true.
nice.
So we used to have that the checkpoints didn't need you to stop, but I was only allowed to take them if I wasn't in a chase. However, after an incident where I thought I wasn't in a chase, but it turned out I was, and I took a checkpoint at a reasonable level of speed, we decided it made more sense to have to stop for checkpoint takings and be allowed to take them in a bit of a chase, perhaps.
The word incident there is in bold inverted quotes.
Yes, people were slightly cross with me. Now, I would like to say it's not the only time that cheating and shenanigans has happened, but I think and it's usually not me. So,
Well,
Sure.
Sure, it's the first time that you cheated, if you say so.
I'm not saying it's necessarily the
Possibly
first time, but I'm saying that I'm in. I think that I have a minority of the cheats.
Yeah, you normally just edit them out, you know.
The little thing. I mean, there's a reason I get to blow you guys up when you cheat now because we had to have an automated system in the game.
It's
so
not
it would
cheating
check.
anymore, you know.
True, it's not. Yes, true, it's not cheating anymore. It's but it was back when it was. It still happened.
It technically
I-
didn't though. Because you had driven a sports car in that run.
Yeah.
I'm sure there was one. No, I'm sure there was one where it happened where it was actually technically cheating.
Possible.
Oh, I see. Peter meant they don't require stopping if you're using the HGVs. I think it would make us. It would be a slight help, but it still probably wouldn't be quite enough.
I mean, Tristan, is it really stopping, or didn't we just say below 5?
I don't think I've actually
Okay,
set anything, but Laurence
Okay,
stops.
I have been stopping because I decided
Yeah.
I was that is the rule, so
Yeah.
I'm trying to obey the rules.
Okay.
As is traditional.
There's a first for everything.
It's an
and,
honest system rule
suddenly
rather than,
Tristan might just implement it, and you'll explode.
yeah, I don't have to warn
or
you.
just not actually end up taking the checkpoint.
Yeah, it will just be a. Well, it doesn't take.
Oh no! Just explode him. I mean,
Right.
we explode
Let's-
when we cheat, so
Let's go.
Oh, hang on. Oh, no. That's fine.
Sad Pete noises.
I was in a helicopter, but it's okay. It's teleported me, so...
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's the clear.
Life is fine.
I've already done.
Hey, bye, Laurence.
Bye bye. So, hello to anyone who's just joined, and I see a couple of people have just joined on YouTube, and I can't actually see Twitch at the moment, so I'm going to assume that lots of people are watching on Twitch as well. So, welcome to Laurence Plays, where we're playing Manhunt Checkpoint. And the objective of Manhunt Checkpoint is, well, there are 5 checkpoints scattered around the city. My objective is to try and collect all those checkpoints by parking in each one and pressing the button to take the checkpoint. And I should be told in about 30 seconds where the first checkpoint is now that I'm in a normal civilian-ish vehicle rather than that supercar, bright pink supercar I spawned in. To make this a little bit harder, there are still 4 hunters. We've got Mike in orange, we've got Pete in dark green, Mark in light green, and Ed in yellow. And they're driving around the city, and they're trying to hunt. They're hunting me, as their title implies. And their objective is to stop me from taking the checkpoints. And they do this by trying to identify me. And if they identify me, then they can try and ram my car off the road and then try and shoot me in the head, which is a fairly effective way of stopping me taking checkpoints. Have I got the circle turned off? I have. Right, there we go. Okay. My first checkpoint is over at the golf course, as it says at the bottom of the screen. So, in order to help the hunters find me, there is a circle that appears on their maps. And they're allowed to look at the mini-maps, the full-size map, because I'm not shown on them. And in fact, no players are shown on the mini-maps, because that would make it a bit too easy to track down where the prey is going by looking for the other hunters. Yeah, so they get a big circle, and they know that I'm somewhere inside that circle. There's a very purple Infernus over there. That's very tempting. Not it would actually do me any good, because I wouldn't be able to take checkpoints. But, you know, still tempting. What is Ed doing there? Changing cars by the looks of things.
Is this for real?
Okay, I'm going to sneak away from here, because Mark has turned up as well. Okay, they haven't spotted me. Good. So, let's carry on and try and get out of here before anything happens. So, yes, there is a big circle that appears on the map, and they know that I'm always going to be somewhere inside that circle, because if I ever leave the circle will move to ensure that I'm always in it. There's some other funny business with it as well, like it gradually shrinks over time, and it changes size depending on what speed I'm doing, so the faster I go, the smaller the circle is, to try and encourage me to drive vaguely sensibly. But basically, the only part that really matters is that they know that I'm in the circle. They can use that to try and track me down and tell roughly where I am in the city. And that's because there's only 4 of them, and Los Santos is quite a big city, so they can't cover the whole place and have any chance whatsoever of finding me. So we give them a little bit of a clue. And also, it's a lot more interesting for me and for you guys, the viewers, if there's a bit more interaction between myself and the hunters. If it was just me driving around the city and never seeing anybody, it'd be really boring. But if I'm having close calls like I did just then with the hunters, where I see them and go, oh no, it's the hunters, and then they drive away, or we get into a chase, either way, it's going to be a bit more interesting and a bit more fun. No, Peter, the circle is not centered on me, because that would make it far too easy. We've tried various different modes with the circles over the year or two we've been doing this. Originally, we I can't remember what order we did these things in, but at one point we had a circle that would move around all by itself, but was sort of attached to the player by an invisible elastic band, so it would sort of be dragged behind them a bit, and it would sort of follow them around, but with a bit of a delay and also quite a lot of wobble. The current mode we're playing in is what we call a static circle, where the circle doesn't move, hence the name, unless the player touches the edge of it, and if they touch the edge of it, then it'll jump. We also have an additional tweak on that which says that because that made it a little bit too obvious, sometimes the hunters would sort of watch a suspicious car and see if when it got to the edge of the circle, see if that then caused the circle to move. So we have an additional obfuscation on it where sometimes the circle moves just because it's got bored and it feels like it. So there's a little bit of balancing between these different things. So as we've been playing the game over and over, we've seen what works, what makes me easy to find, what makes me hard to find, and then tried to sort of tweak the rules a little bit to try and keep it balanced and keep it interesting. And I think we've done a reasonably good job of that. One of the other things that often gives me away is when a large cloud of cars builds up, because because of the way that cars spawn in and out in GTA, there's a bit of a tendency for cars to build up around a player if they're sitting still at traffic lights, because cars will spawn in behind me and drive towards me and then won't be able to go anywhere because there's a red light, and then another car will spawn in and so on. So we've lowered the spawn rate for cars around the prey a bit as well to help with that. So there's lots of little things we've done here and there to tweak the way the game mode works in order to try and make it a little bit in order to make it work a bit better and remove some of the more obvious tells from it. One of the most obvious tell, or one possibly obvious tell, is the fact I'm driving a muscle car in Rockford, where these sort of cars don't spawn in this area. This is quite a posh area, and muscle cars tend to be at least this sort of muscle trucks and things like this Picador tend to spawn in the ghetto and the industrial area and that sort of area. So this car is going to be a little bit out of place, but I'm hoping that the hunters won't really notice that, because they'll see a lot of cars as they're driving around, and I'm hoping they're not really very observant. I think I'm probably hoping in vain here, because they do keep spotting me and chasing me, so they probably will notice me, but I'm kind of hoping they don't. And you see, here we go, there's a bit of a build-up of cars happening behind me, which is a bad thing. But the light's gone green, so I can start moving again and get out of here. And then, oh, there's Mike coming down out the hills ahead of me. I can tell because he's in the orange. Is he going to investigate this queue? No, he's not. He's going off that way. Excellent. That's not a green light. Better stop here. Actually, I could go. What's the best way to take the checkpoint? Yeah, we've got those. Yeah, we've got the circle shrinkage like that. As Max says, it gets smaller the faster I go, and oh dear, Mike is behind me. Drive sensibly, Laurence. Drive sensibly. He looks suspicious. I mean, he always looks suspicious. He's Mike, but he's going away again. So cautious optimism here, or he might just be guarding me and telling everyone where I am, so to bring in reinforcements. I think. Yep, he's turning around. Let's go up here. That was a fairly suspicious move, I have to admit. Yeah. Okay. I've driven very, very suspiciously now, so he's definitely on my tail. He's in an SUV, I'm in a muscle truck. I don't know who's got the better car at this point. It could go either way. Yeah. I think I'd better get out of here or try and get out of here before he brings too many other hunters in. So there's a tendency there. The hunters are all in voice chat together. So as soon as one of them finds me, as Mike has done now, he's going to tell all the rest of them where I am, and they're all going to come flooding over this way and try and join in the chase. Now Mike has dropped back a bit. I don't. Maybe I've got a top end speed advantage over him. No, I don't think I have. He's catching up again now. Turn, corner. Ooh, what exploded then? It wasn't Mike, sadly. Oh, he's having trouble getting going again. So let's drop down here. This is my least favourite way to go off that jump, because it's the easiest one to do. Oh, he's landed on the top thing. If I'd known that, I'd have kept going. I mean, I'd have turned around and gone in the opposite direction. Rat thing. Okay, well, I'm just going to keep going along here. I'm going to come off here. Coming off here is not ideal because it makes me it's fairly obvious. I'm very, very visible rather than disappearing down into that hole. But I can then hopefully do something up here, like dip down this road over here before he comes out. And hopefully he won't see me do this. So now I can, and then pull down here.
Whoa!
Let's try and hide in the pedestrian area because everyone knows I hate going in here, and we'll probably find out why in a second. And round here, like this, there we go. Right, I seem to have lost him. Good. That means I need a new car. No, I haven't lost him. There he is. I thought I'd lost him, but no. Rats. Oh, he's gone the wrong way.
I picked up the baby.
Well, he's done something funny anyway. Can I get? Yeah, if I go through here, this is underneath the bridge I've just gone over. So that's not going back, just not quite going back the way I just came. Right, this seems like quite a good way of getting away. I still need a new car, but I don't want to escalate to sports cars yet, so an Oracle would do, I guess. Yeah, I think it's safe to change. Get in the car. Right, and I've done that without turning the circle off as well. And yeah, I had a bit of a prang, but I don't think I've damaged the car. Excellent. Ooh. And I've immediately found Mike again when I was driving too quickly and not stopping properly. Oh, for goodness sake. Oh, God. Right, let's drop onto the highway here and then immediately come off it again. And hopefully he won't see me do that. This is problematic. And a bit difficult. Right, let's a quick turn here, and then I can head back into the northern part of the city, which is where I want to be, because this is where the next checkpoint is. So if I can get up here a bit, and then maybe have another car change, again into something innocent and innocuous, like that SUV. This is going to stop here at these red lights. This gives me a moment to check whether there's anything else coming. There isn't. Good. So I can hop in this now.
What's that?
SUVs, not my favourite sort of vehicles, but yeah. There we go. Right. Okay, so I'm on the move again now. I'm going to run this red light because I want to keep moving. I want to get over to take that checkpoint while I've still got a chance. Yeah, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. Oh, I see some chatters a bit. I'll have a look at that as soon as I'm not trying to concentrate on the road. I was driving a bit too close to that car, but never mind. I seem to have got away with that. Okay, here we go. This is the way up to the golf course checkpoint. Now there it is ahead of me. Oh, nearly there. I can't even remember how many checkpoints I've taken in this run. This is just so tense. It's just. Oh, this is the first one. Blimey. Stop here. I can't take it. I'm slightly too far away. Stop outside the checkpoint. There we go. Just in range of now. And from here, I'm going to drop into this alleyway to escape, because this will drop me down onto a different road, get me back into a different area, and hopefully back on the run again. Oh, or not. There we go. There's a hunter. Oh, maybe it's too obvious doing that, but there's Pete as well. So I've got both the green hunters behind me now, and I did see a black card acting suspiciously, so I wonder if someone's forgotten to recolour their vehicle. Oh dear. Yeah, that's Pete. There's a dark shadow behind me. That must be Pete, because it's too dark to mark. Oh, no, I didn't slow down enough to make it round that corner. That's the worst of both worlds. I didn't slow down enough to get round the corner, but I slowed down enough to make me easier to catch up with. So I didn't want to do that. There we go, let's get around here. Yeah, alleyways are a good trick. The problem with alleyways is if you're spotted going into or out of them, then it's really, really suspicious, because AI cars, well, I was going to say they don't drive in or out of it. They don't use alleyways. That's not quite true. They do occasionally go into alleyways, especially if there's a car park there. But it's unusual and weird enough that you can guarantee that if a hunter sees a car go in or out of an alleyway, they will check it. So whilst you can claim plausible deniability, there's no point in claiming plausible deniability. Doesn't really help if you've been shot in the head. You can say, well, it could have been an AI, and then say, well, it doesn't matter. I just got suspicious of that car, so I thought I'd investigate it. And it turned out to be you, so gosh, it sucks to be you. So, yeah, it's whilst it's hiding and going through alleyways is great, because it's a slightly less expected. Oh, big slide from the SUV there. Alleyways are slightly unexpected. Yeah, Pete's still there. Hang on, that's not a legal car? I don't think. It was not a legal car. I've now blown up basically all the hunters. In fact, I have blown up literally all the hunters. Excellent. Should have done that sooner. Yes, so I should probably mention the hunters are not allowed to drive any vehicle that I haven't driven a vehicle in that class yet. Now they get a couple for free. They get sedans, sedans, SUVs, and compacts for free, but they don't get coupes. They don't get sports cars. So that case, if I see a hunter driving a car they're not supposed to be driving, I get to blow them up. And if they're in a chase at the time, then it's really, really effective, because sake. There goes my nice pristine car. It doesn't look too bad. It smashed the rear windscreen, which is a bit of a giveaway. Yeah, so I get to blow them all up for being in cars they're not supposed to be using, which is very, very satisfying. And makes things a little bit easier when I'm trying to get away. There goes another checkpoint. Tug! Sometimes there's random effects, like tugboats fall from the sky and everybody dies. Yeah. Oh dear. That was one of the easier escapes from a chase I've ever had, I have to say. I'm not 100% sure what he was driving, Max. It was definitely a coupe though, so I thought, right, I'm getting you, and well, I did. Shopping centre jump. Oh, that's not too far away. I am now driving a Jackal, and that means coupes are allowed. But I hadn't at that point. I hadn't driven one, so yeah. I'm going to switch to this Oracle. I'm not going to switch to this Oracle because it drove off when I was about to steal it. Rude. It's not acceptable. Not acceptable behaviour at all. Yeah, knowing the alleyways does make losing hunters easier, but I'm just yeah, it makes it a little bit easier, but you still need to have the driving precision, and I struggle a little bit with that, and also the the knowledge of the alleyways is the big thing. And I haven't played this game that much. I don't know how many hundreds of hours I've played of it, but it's not enough for me to know the alleyways well enough to drop in and out of them like that. I want that car in front of me because I think that's a decent coupe. I can't really tell because the sun's so bright in the camera, but actually it might be a sports, in which case I'm going to feel slightly... Yeah, that's a sports. Never mind. I don't mind escalating to sports on the third checkpoint. That's not too bad. And it'll give me a bit of an edge over them for at least the first checkpoint, or at least the first chase, because until they've seen me driving the sports car, after what just happened and they all got blown up, they probably won't be very keen on driving sports cars straight away. Alright, shopping centre jump and tunnel. There you go. So pull up here at the lights. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for the lights to go green, like that. Then I'm going to grab the checkpoint while I'm stationary, and then drive through the tunnel, and have all of my tyres wrecked, by the sounds of it. Yes. So this is again another one of the checkpoint effects, where it pops tyres on. Basically, it pops at least. Typically, there's some sort of random shenaniganery way that it decides on how many tyres to pop on all of the cars that are currently spawned in. So I need to find a car that wasn't spawned in when I took that checkpoint, and then steal it in order to have, some actual tyres on my car. So we'll have this Oracle for now. I said we'll have this Oracle. Don't even go away from me. What's going on here? No, I don't want this one. I want this Oracle. Take the Oracle.
No fucking way!
There we go. Right. So, get out of here again. And I've upset someone. Okay, so the next one is over at 5 Ways. Now 5 Ways is so named because it's a junction that has 5 ways that you can approach it from. So in theory, that should make it a relatively easy checkpoint to take because there's lots of ways to approach it. And it is. It's one of the easier ones in the game because it's slap bang in the middle of the city, and that means there's lots and lots of different ways for the for me to approach it. Lots of different directions for me to approach it from, and I can't just wait there for ages and then finally go, well, the light was still red. I think it did. Yeah, lots and lots of ways to approach it from. And it's in the middle, so as I drive towards it, the hunters probably won't know where I'm going for, so they can't set up an ambush for me, because the hunters don't know where the checkpoints are. That's an important point that I think I might have not mentioned. So, let's see, it's not this bridge, it's the next one. So if I approach it from the south, yes, because they don't know that I'm trying to go for 5 Ways, then approaching from this direction should be reasonably effective. Looking back at the earlier comment, yeah, Peter, we've thought a bit about trying to tweak the damage to the cars. Unfortunately, it's a little bit more complicated than you'd expect, because you have to tweak cars based on that car model. You can't say if the prey is driving a car, make it twice as tough. Now that might be something it's possible we'd be able to find a loophole that would allow us to do that. Perhaps upgrade the armor on a car or something like that. But the main problem that we run into is the tires getting shot out anyway. So, and we have some house rules about that anyway. Anything that's worse than a coupe, anything worse than a coupe or muscle has bulletproof tires just given to it, and anything better, we don't want it to have that advantage anyway, because that would remove it. What is that cement mixer doing? It's not in a hunter colour, so it shouldn't be a hunter. It just seems to be vaguely attacking a wall, and now it's in the middle of the road. Well, it's going away, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to leave that to be somebody else's problem. I do very occasionally play as a hunter, not very often. Partly because I'm not as good at it, partly because it's my channel, and playing the prey tends to produce the most interesting footage. There's two hunters wanting. The hunters are apparently attacking each other. Mike has just rammed Mark, so well done there. Let's take the chance. Fun. I have a bad feeling about this. Peter's just taken Mike out, which is convenient, given that I'm trying to escape and not doing a very good job of it, because I don't have any tyres. No, don't give me spun round. That's bad. That's going to let Mike shoot me. Maybe I shouldn't have moved. I don't know. I don't know whether I should have moved or not, because I'm in a really awkward position here. Mike is attempting to get in my car because he thinks that's funny. I mean, he's right, but he's attempting to get in my car because he thinks it's funny. Let's try and escape now. So, the problem with this, firstly, is that I can't drive because I don't have any tyres, because they all just got burst. And secondly, I've got Mike in my car, who's going to be telling everybody where I'm going. There's another tyre gone. I didn't realise I actually had any left. So, yes, escape is going to be difficult. Also, Mark at least is in a better car than me. I think I'm in a lot of trouble here. I don't know. I don't think I'm actually going to be able to get away from here. Now they are. They are doing a bit. They're having a little bit of a nonsense moment here, where they're deliberately not attacking me because they know that Mike has got into the car, so they're just sort of toying with me because it's funny, rather than trying to finish me off. However, that gives me a small chance. It's not a good chance, but it gives me at least a little bit of a chance to try and, skedaddle a little bit. The other problem is they're probably all going to have changed cars by now, which means that they might actually have tyres where I don't. So they might be able to drive like cars rather than like I don't know. I feel like I'm on ice skates or something. It's a bit ridiculous. All that said, I seem to have left Pete a bit behind. Oh, that was not good. I'm going to get out and I'm going to try and run away, and I'm going to try and shoot Mike with a stun gun. But he's going to dodge because he's a sod. Oh, it doesn't have a fast enough cycle rate. I certainly can't defeat two of them. Stuck down an alleyway, because what else am I going to do, honestly, what else can I do? Just try and dodge the bullets, basically. Oh no, I hate it when it goes like this. Let's hide here, and then mug Mark as he comes past. Oh, they're both there. I haven't got a chance. Oh, and I missed. No, I'm dead. Oh, doomed. Oh dear. Yeah, I think when I lost the tyres and then they were investigating the cars in the area, that was when I was doomed.
There.
Hello. Yeah, once I got to the point where I was just where I didn't have any tyres and you guys were all investigating cars, there wasn't a lot I could do from there, I don't think.
Oh yeah.
But it was funny,
unfortunate.
nonetheless. So good content, well done.
Did you notice that you had a passenger?
I did, yes. I saw Mike trying to get in and then failing, and then I thought, no, let's let him get in, because if I don't let him get in, he's going to try and shoot me. So
How did that work out for you?
well, I got an extra 5 minutes or so of life, so
You're not wrong. You're assuming that I had a hit with my shooting, which, as you demonstrate by running in not quite a perfectly straight line.
Yeah, to be honest, yes, maybe I should have just kept running and rather than hiding around the corner there. But I was thinking if I kept running, eventually you'd manage to hit me. I wanted to go up one of the ladders and go onto the rooftops, but again, it would take too long, be too slow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But my screen is like a white setup, so
yes, you got a bit. better view.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I was tucked
No, I
quite
mean,
well round the
if you're
corner.
going up a ladder, I
up,
probably
maybe.
wouldn't have seen you.
See what you mean?
I see.
You probably would, because I'd have been about
I
6
would've.
feet up the ladder as you went past.
I would have, because I was checking every ladder as we went round, because I was sitting there going, if I were you, I would try and hide, or set
Yeah.
an ambush, or whatever. Because if you run in a straight line, obviously, yes, we're going to see you, that's obvious.
Exactly,
But
yeah.
it's getting on way, so I'm going to check round every corner. I was sitting there going, can you jump into the dustbins?
I mean,
Not
I
in those
checked
ones,
the corner that you were
Vincent.
in, but I was still surprised that you were in that corner.
Yeah. Also, I'm not very good at the shooty parts of GTA, so I am.
Yeah.
Well,
Nor
I
am
seem
I, as you saw in the last run.
I was doing the Overwatch thing of check all corners.
Yeah. Well, we've got suddenly we've just got a decent number of people joining the stream, so I think I'm going to start another game pretty much straight away. This
go
time
for it,
I'm going to switch the location method over to blip though, because I think that's we haven't done that today, so I think it's a little bit more interesting. Other than
Yeah.
that, I'll
Yeah.
leave all the settings the same unless Tristan shouts at me and says I need to change something. Brief pause for shouting.
No, but you'll want to clear vehicles.
Oh yes, that's a good idea. Oh, I could start the game first, can't I?
Yeah.
At some
Green.
point, do you want to be a hunter?
It could be interesting. If somebody else wants to have a go at being prey, then I'm certainly happy to do that. Clear vehicles, boof, and ink game. Right.
I mean, we're not having Tristan and then having Laurence as a hunter. That's like
Massive double handicap, isn't it? It's, Hi, Laurence.
Rude. Well, hello everyone who's just joined the channel and the stream rather, and welcome to Laurence Plays Manhunt Checkpoint. And the objective of this game is for me as the prey is to drive around the city and try and pick up all of the checkpoints. And I'll be given them one at a time. There's a total of 5 of them in all. And if I manage to take all of them, then I win. At the moment, I'm looking for a different car with a fairly long list of criteria. Oh, let's take that. It's not particularly good, but it's good in a pushing match. So let's grab one. Let's grab this one. Until I find something better, anyway. So yes, I have to drive around the city and try and get all the checkpoints. I'll be told in a few seconds where my first checkpoint is, but at the moment I'll just bimble around a little bit and try and hide a bit. So in order to make that a little bit harder, because you say driving around the city, picking up checkpoints, that doesn't sound very difficult. Well, there's some hunters. We've got 4 of them today. That's Mike in the orange, Mark in the pale green, Pete in the dark green, and Ed in yellow. And they're going to be wandering around trying to find me. Now, it's a big old city though, so in order to make things a little bit easier for them, in order to make it a bit easier for them to find me, instead of them just trying to hunt around the entire city, we have a system where there's a blip on their maps, and that blip is always 400 meters behind where I've been. So it follows me around, but it's always 400 meters behind on the same route. So at the moment, it's probably somewhere just over there from wherever I was. So there's Pete turning up now because he's trying to trace the trying to work out where I am because he knows I was in this area 400 meters ago. So he's investigating various cars around here, and I'm trying to watch both him and the traffic lights at the same time. So, okay, Peter, if you want, this is going to be possibly a slightly different run because the rules are a bit different. Oh, Mike has turned up as well, and they're just randomly mugging people. Randomly mugging people out of cars. So, yes, I'm going to get out of here now because I need to get over to the docks entrance checkpoint, which is off this way, over the other side of the storm drain, and then sort of around there somewhere. So I just want to keep moving. But the thing is, with the 400 meter blip, if I drive in a straight line for too long, it kind of makes me obvious, or makes it rather obvious where I'm going. And if it's obvious where I'm going, then the hunters can try and get ahead of me and get on and intercept me on the route that I'm following. But if I do lots of wiggling around, then it makes it a bit harder. Now, I have just driven straight towards this checkpoint in the most direct route I possibly could, so that's bad tactics there, Laurence. What are you doing? Oh, stop. There, I stopped just after I took it. Sorry everyone, I didn't mean to cheat. So now you can see I've suddenly got a very, very blue car. Now that's because we have a mode in this game which we call checkpoint effect. In fact, you know what? I'm going to do something unexpected. I'm going to jump over here, and I'm going to escape by water. And they won't expect this because I'm normally not very good at swimming, but I think I've learnt how, just about. So yeah, I'm going to try and escape somehow and try and work out where is a good place to get out of the water now. So where am I? Okay, I'm here. I think probably if I go this way, it'll be a reasonable way to escape. I'm actually starting to think that jumping in the water was a bad move tactically. I think this might make me rather easy to track because I'm going to be moving at low speed. Don't get out of the water. It's even worse. Yeah, it's going to probably make me rather easy to track. I think this might have been a tactical error. But if I carry on along here, then I can hop out here. There's this sort of wiggle round in the yeah, it was a bad move. There's this sort of wiggle round in the loop round in the road here where I can at least. There's probably going to be a car parked at the bottom of it, and hopefully from here I can then grab a vehicle. I look like I'm kind of dressed for swimming. Maybe it's the toe shoes. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's the big thing about the game is that the hunters are usually. It's usually me as the prey and them as the hunters, and that means they're very used to playing as hunters, and I'm used to playing as prey, which means I'm bad at being a hunter. I'm just not very observant. What am I going to take from here? None. I don't want the Glendale. I mean, I might take the Skip. It's the least bad thing around. I don't want to. Oh, all right. Let's take an Oracle because I don't want to escalate all the way up to sports cars just yet. Right. From what I've been doing, though, they're probably going to think they're not going to know exactly where I am. I mean, they're going to see as I've been moving slowly, but they're not going to know where I am because 400 meters goes quite a long way when you're swimming. As in, it takes a long time to travel 400 meters, and therefore, by the time it's obvious where I'm going to be gone. At least that's my hope. If I meet one of them coming down here, then I could be in trouble. But now I need to get up. So now the plan is to get up to Chinese Monument. That shouldn't be too hard. If I whoa. That looked like a Pete, and that was, yeah, I was not driving remotely subtly there. However, he is driving a terrible car, and I'm merely driving a mediocre car. So hopefully, if I don't drive into too many fences, and he's driven into the same fence because that's a difficult fence, maybe I'll actually be able to get away. Let's give this a good old try. If I just put my foot down in a straight line. Now, this isn't the best way to... There's an Ed. Quickly, there we go. Got past him. Whew. I'm also driving in completely the wrong direction for the checkpoint I want to get to because I was too busy thinking about getting away from Pete and not thinking enough about where I was actually going. So yeah, let's start being a little bit evasive and doing some funny in and out shenanigans around the corners here. Because with the blip that gives them the impression of rough impression of where I am, they know how fast I'm going and they know where I was a little while ago. But it doesn't give them quite enough information as to where I'm going to be able to just jump out in front of me too easily, especially if I'm winding in and out of the roads like this. So the hope is, if I do something like this, come back down here perhaps, and then cross over this way towards the arena, then they're not going to be expecting me to go this way, and I've got another 100 meters or so before they know that I've even crossed over this bridge, in which time I can maybe come back round here. And I want to switch vehicles, but I don't want to switch into a truck. What are you? Sultan, okay. Oh, give me that Sultan. Yes. Thankfully, GTA's gaming model thing, whatever you want to call it, says that if you point at a car and say, I want that car, the car will often stop moving, so it makes it a bit easier to go over and steal it. Right, where am I? Chinese Monument. Okay, so I'm going in about the right direction now, so if I stop here, let's summon an AI. Press the wrong button again, but fortunately nobody was in an illegal car. Because I've driven a coupe and a sports now, so that's about the full. They've got basically the full set available to them now. So there's probably not going to be any blowing up of hunters for driving the wrong cars in this. Can I help you?
Christ almighty!
What's one way to get rid of an Ed, I suppose? Right, let's skedaddle a bit. Once again, I've now got myself in a recognised car, so I could do with changing again. Now, sure, it was bad driving. I got me spotted there. I was not being particularly subtle, but if I can just do a couple of loops around here, perhaps. He says driving on the wrong side of the road again. If I can do something funny down here and then try and find a vehicle to change into. Now, I've unlocked both sports and coupes now, so basically anything I might want to use is free game, fair game. You're an Oracle. Fine, I'll take an Oracle for now. I did the not looking before I changed cars. I seem to have got away with it this time, which makes a nice change though. Right, now I'm going on approach for the checkpoint. There's the checkpoint. I'm going to ignore this red light. and look slightly afterwards to see if there's anyone coming, because that's how I roll apparently. Here we go, checkpoint number 2. There's a motorbike in front of me. I'm gonna, yeah, let's stop and wait here. I think, because stopping and waiting, I don't know, it gives the hunters something else to think about, to confuse them and throw them off. Maybe. Oh, I've gone blue again. It's the blue checkpoint effect, where all the currently spawned in cars turn this lovely fetching shade of blue, which basically means that if I stay in this car for more than a couple of minutes, it's going to be really obvious, because I'm going to be the only car around in this colour. So basically it's a thing that makes me need to change cars relatively soon, but without doing any sort of weird damage to the car, like the burst tyres one that we saw at the end of the last run. So I am currently on the scout for something worth stealing. Ooh, that's something worth stealing, especially as I've already unlocked sports cars. And it is blue, but it's not the suspicious shade of blue. So we'll have that. It's not an exemplar. It's a rapid GT. Okay, sure, that'll do nicely. Okay, now I've got my sports car. Now I need to get over to the beach. The beach is this way, kind of. Now, what's the best way to approach? So the beach checkpoint is a slightly weird one. It's one of those that's kind of weirdly out on the edge of nowhere. So once you get close to it, it's fairly obvious which checkpoint you're going for. So I need to go to the beach in such a way that it's not obvious that I'm going to the beach. I'm just going to go around, sort of loop around a little bit and try while I think about the best way to do this. So I think probably my best bet is to drive down towards Chinese Monument, then probably down through the middle of the canals area. Yeah, that's good advice, Max. Yeah, driving a bit more carefully when trying to blend in. It's been the sort of the half blend that's been getting me in trouble, where I've been trying to sort of be a little bit subtle, but also move quickly, because I'm aware that I'm still kind of being chased. So, yes, I think now I am actually blending in again now. So I was trying to blend in, then suddenly Mike with a bus. Not what I wanted. There's some shooting happening behind me. I think that's because Mike pushed me into another car, who then got upset because their car had been crashed into, and they blamed me rather than Mike, because they don't know Mike properly. So they started attacking me. So I now have a rather damaged sports car, which means it's time for an upgrade, or time for a change. Yeah, let's take a Comet. I don't drive Comets very often because they're a bit twitchy and have a bit of a mind of their own, but they are quick. So I think if I take Max's advice and try and drive reasonably carefully, then maybe things will go okay. Yeah, about half a second between saying, yeah, I'm going to drive carefully and sneakily, and then suddenly a wild Mike appeared. Yeah, that's just what happened. Oh, there he is again. Let's try and stay away from the Mike bus. The Mike bus is a silly place and does not take you to where you want to go. Also, the fares are far too high. There's nobody around. I think I want to keep moving. I think it's one of the things I'm pretty sure about from all of my Manhunt games is you are best off keeping, as the prey, it's best to try and mostly keep moving and try and drive a little bit more aggressively than if you're just going plain blend in, because if you obey the traffic laws too much and just sit there like a lemming, then it gives the hunters more time to come and find you. Whereas if you're driving a little bit more aggressively, a little bit faster, then yes, you stick out a little bit more, but you're not in any given area for as long, so it makes it probably a bit easier to stay away from the hunters, or it gives the hunters less opportunity to find you. That's probably a better way to put it. But certainly, if you think there are hunters around, it's best to drive slowly and carefully. Now I'm going to turn left from here, which you're not allowed to do, but hopefully there's no hunters looking. There were no hunters looking. Excellent. Right, at this point, I can't put it off any longer. I need to go for the checkpoint. I need to go through this way. I need to go through the canals, and now I'm going to look. if they see me, I'm going to look very... I was going to say you don't get cars around here, and then I spotted a car around here. But generally, you don't get very many cars around here. It's that sort of thing that I was talking about earlier, where driving through alleyways, where if you get spotted coming out of an alleyway, sure, AI cars sometimes come out of alleyways, but it's not really much of a defence saying, oh no, it's fine, you can't say you spotted me because I was coming out of an alleyway, because AI cars do that as well sometimes. Get out of the way! Oh my goodness! Because AI cars do it sometimes, but it doesn't matter. If you do something that AI cars don't do very often, and you get spotted because of it, you can't say, "Oh, it's not fair. I was blending in. I was acting like an AI," because it's too late. They've found you. It's irrelevant. Now I'm going to do something I haven't tried before here. I'm going to do an escape by the water, because that worked quite well last time, and I think. Let's see. Let's look around the map. Yeah, if I go round this thing, this bit of land that's sticking out here sometimes. This bit of land that's sticking out here, sorry. Then I can perhaps come out on the other side of it and pop up over there and get out by the road to the airport, and then go from there. Yeah, exactly. AIs do occasionally do things that you don't expect them to do, and yes, they frequently do get shot for doing it. And that's no consolation for the AI that's got shot, and it's no consolation for me that you'd have shot the AIs for doing it as well. This guy is not very good at running on sand, which is fair. Running on sand is not easy. Hopefully the hunters haven't... There we go, that's slightly better terrain. Hopefully the hunters haven't worked out to come across this way, or there's going to be some sniper rounds coming my way fairly quickly. If I'd remembered exactly the layout of this area, I'd have popped out of the water a little bit further along, but never mind. Right, car please. Oh, okay, that's not a car, but it'll do. Give me that. I need your bike and your motorcycle. Yes. What's the best way to get to Mirror Park from here? Well, what's the best way to get to Mirror Park from here without getting spotted by a bunch of lunatic hunters? Probably to go this way, especially as I'm on a bike, and therefore off-road stuff is a bit more reasonable than normal. I mean, it's a sports bike. It shouldn't be good at off-road, but it still is because GTA physics. Right. Where am I? Oh yeah, I know where I am. Right, okay, so if I come over this way, and if I stick on here for a little bit longer and then take a left onto this highway, then this should be pretty good. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, follow around here. This will take me all the way from the west side over to the east side of the city, and from there I can blast straight up towards Mirror Park. Now, the big question though is, should I try and change vehicles? Because bikes are quick and manoeuvrable and just generally quite good for getting you out of trouble. But they're very, very vulnerable. So I don't know. I think I'm going to stick with the bike because I don't use bikes very often. So it's got the novelty value of it at least. I should have come off there, I think. Let's come off here instead. Where's this? Oh yeah, perfect. And then where? Oh yeah, yes. This is basically perfect. I can take the right turn a little bit further along here. Not that one. That goes. Oh, actually, that one would have done. But I was thinking of the next one because that'll take me up basically to the checkpoint. So yeah, this is going well. Now I've completely forgotten the whole sort of. I'd forgotten what game mode I was playing in, essentially. I've been driving as if I've been playing in the circle mode rather than the blip mode. So I was going in very straight lines in very obvious directions. But because I was on the highway, that's probably okay. Let's see if I can head up here. There's no hunters around because I've come across the city quickly enough that they haven't really had much of a chance. And I think what with that swimming across the place, that's going to really throw them off. So let's take the checkpoint. And then go tugboat, then go over here, and then exit Mirror Park, stage left, pursued by a bear. Is there anyone down there? That's my first question. Because this is where I came from. Yep, there goes Ed. Any more for any more? Down here. There we go, right. And then let's get out of here. So, what's my next checkpoint? In a moment the game will tell me, because there's a 30-second gap between taking one checkpoint and being told where the next one is. Oh, golf course, okay. That's quite a long way. I'm not going to go the obvious way though, because I'm trying to play now properly for the blip mode, where I want to make the blip go in all kinds of weird directions and just make it do unexpected things. So I'm going to go in here and just assume that there's a way through. Whoa, unexpected jump. Yeah, so I can come through here. I can't get through that, possibly because I'm on a bike and it's not heavy enough to punch through the railings, but never mind. I don't really want to go into it faster to get the extra momentum that I'll probably need, but because that'll probably happen. I was trying not to do that, trying so hard. I say so hard, trying fairly hard to get back on the bike, goodness sake. It does bug me a bit when you get off a vehicle for whatever reason, whether it's because you got out by either accidentally or on purpose, or because you've fallen off a bike or something like that. It bugs me a bit that it then takes a little while for the game to go, oh, alright, I'll let you get back on it again. You just end up wandering around in circles like some sort of muppet, and it's a bit frustrating. Right, let's head back in the opposite direction now, and if I hug down here, then hopefully any cars that are going along the top trying to follow the route I've just taken won't be able to see me. So now I can put a bit of speed down, absolutely hoon along the storm drain like this, desperately trying to find another way to get out of it, preferably on the right hand side. And I don't want to go into the tunnels, because the tunnels lead to all kinds of headaches and nightmares and things. Is there a way out here? Yes. Oh yeah, I know where this goes. Right, well I'm doing lots of off-road stuff, because I reckon off-road stuff is a good way to throw the hunters off. Even though they know exactly where I've been at any given point, they don't know in time to do anything about it. So if I keep doing lots of this sort of twisty-turny stuff, exploring some of the alleyways and things, like as Max encourages me to do, it's a good idea. It keeps me moving as well, and and on the bike I can really get through them at high speed, and it'll throw them off and confuse them a bit as they're trying to follow me. Now on the other hand, this is me not going in very straight lines, therefore they're probably going to be able to catch up. But still, I think the uncertainty and confusion that I'm hopefully sowing amongst the hunters will be extremely valuable. I'm not doing any trying to blend in at the moment, I'm just trying to lay a confusing course. Now, are there any ways out from the back of here? I can't remember. Let's find out. Ooh, this'll do. There we go, yes, because I'm on a bike I can do stupid stuff like this. And I was going to say get myself completely trapped, but no, there's actually a way through. I might have to use bikes more often, just because this is ridiculously entertaining. It does make following the blip nearly impossible, but it makes getting into the area where the blip is relatively easy. So, bikes can't go through things like that, I keep forgetting that. Yeah, so it's going to be virtually impossible for them to follow and stay practically on top of me, but it's going to be fairly easy for them to stay in the general correct area, because they'll know that the blip is somewhere over in Ghetto. So it's going to be easy for them to get over to Ghetto, because I'm messing around so much going in and out of all of the wiggly bits that it's going to be really easy for them to get to the general area. But it's then going to be very, very hard for them to find exactly where I am. So that's the sort of the hope I'm going for with all of this. It's all of this bouncing in and out of silly places. Now, because if they've got any sense, they're going to have worked out that I'm driving I'm on a bike, because they'll have seen all the sort of silly places I'm going. So now, if I switch to a sports car instead, now granted it meant I stopped, but if they've worked out I was on a bike, they might have worked out that was me falling. They might have guessed that was me falling off the bike, because to be fair, that's probably the most likely reason for me to not be on the bike anymore. I'm still going to continue with the general principle of going in odd directions now. So coming down here, round like this, and then, oh, suddenly a mic. Maybe I should have kept the bike. That's confused him a little bit. I was sort of trying to do an end or braking manoeuvre, but it didn't really happen because, well, he was right behind me. Oh, there's all of them now, at least 3 of them. So turn around. That was not the slide I was meaning to do. Let's try and get going again. Okay, so I am heading generally back in the direction of the checkpoint I want to get to. However, there's a few too many of them following me, and Mike is in a Feltzer. I'm rather jealous because I like the Feltzer, and I'm pretty sure it's better than the Fusillade. So I'm just going to have to escape him with, I don't know, luck, driving skill, panache, and shenanigans. Unfortunately, those things are all in short supply. Especially the driving skills. Now I've had some beer though, so hopefully that'll help with the panache and the shenanigans. Ooh, I went through there really well. I'm very happy with that. Okay. Whoa. That was awkward. Now he is still behind me, of course he is, because I've been going in a straight line. That makes me easy to follow. I should probably turn off the blip. There we go. That's the blip turned off. So now they can't use that to track me. They have to rely on the Mark 1 eyeball and their own sort of spotting skills. So we'll see how that does. Now, obviously, Mike has been using the his spotting skills and the and eyes to try and track me so far, because he was staying close enough that that he couldn't have been using the blip to track me. But this will hopefully allow me to, at least if I do manage to get away from them a bit, it'll allow me to then make the most. Oh, who's shooting at me? There's one of the hunters dismounted in the hope that I'd come back down there. Huh, that's interesting. I've got a wanted level, so it shouldn't be cops. I'm not going back down there again if that's what happens down there. Let's try and... Ooh, gap, make space, make a hole. Ooh. That AI definitely lost the plot there. Yeah, so the hunters sometimes are quite good at, actually communicating with each other. So they might see me going in a certain direction and then try and set up an ambush. And occasionally it works, and when it does, it's very worrying. Is there a way out of here? There is not a way out of here. Did anyone see me come in here? I hope not. Damn it. I don't know how Mark spotted me in there, but he came in a very, very certain way. He must have seen me go in there. Or maybe Mike spotted me as he went past and shouted out to Mark, who then sort of took over. That's the other thing. As I say, they communicate. It's very unfair. Oh, and also I drive into brick walls as well. That's also not too helpful. Interesting. My Fusillade seems to have slightly more acceleration uphill than Mark's Comet. Which is interesting. I would have expected the Comet to be faster. Maybe the Comet's more manoeuvrable. I would expect the Comet to be a significantly faster and just generally better car. The Comet is obviously based on the one of the Porsches. I wouldn't like to say which of the 911. Oh, get out of the way! Which of the 911-esque car? There's certainly not a Boxster, but it could be anything from a GT3 to a. Oh, I don't know. I'm not very good at Porsches. But yeah, one of those. The Fusillade. It's. I can't remember what's. This is the Chrysler Crossfire, isn't it? The Fusillade, yeah. And the orange Feltzer that Mike is driving is the SLK, which is very unfair because the SLK is my car. I've got one. Well, I would say I've got one sitting outside the house. That's not actually true. It's currently off with Mercedes for repairs because it's kind of rusty because they didn't build it properly in the first place. However, they have taken the blame for that, so that's all right. What beer am I drinking? I'm drinking Hobgoblin, which is my personal favourite beer because it's delicious, basically. Lots of lovely flavour and nice and dark, and that's basically what I look for in a beer. Yeah, it's very excellent beer, oh, thank you. That's got me through that letterbox. Oh, goodness sake, get going again. There are some cars are better at getting going than others. The Feltzer seems to be one of the ones that struggles more. Pete, my dodging is getting better though. I'm quite pleased I managed to evade him there. Let's go into the tunnel. Oh, where are you coming from? Cars don't come out of there. I think part of the problem. Well, no, I was going to say part of the problem is I pull the trigger too hard to try and get my car moving. Come on, get Pete off my car. I can't. Oh, that was frustrating. It was just I couldn't get the car moving again. I was pinned by them all, and yeah, just doomed. Oh well, I can have some more beer now. Oh, that was hard work.
But we had a lot of good runs today, right?
Yeah, it's been a good one. Good session. I don't know Grimbergen. I do know that doubles tend to be quite nice in my experience, so I would assume it's I would certainly give it a try. I couldn't say for sure. I've not. It's not one I've tried myself though, so I can't say for certain.
Doubles of what?
Beer. It's when they've been. Is it when they've been? They've had something
Fermented
done
twice?
twice. I don't think it's fermented. Might be though. It might be double fermented.
Bottled, then drunk, then bottled again.
No, that's Foster's.
Oh yeah, we're all going
People
to
did well at their
die.
colours in that run.
You said that like they didn't in the previous one. I did see a black car that
No.
was driving like a player in the previous run.
No, I can't remember what Pete said, but it was apparently wrong.
Thanks, Pete.
But then, that ended up being apparently a red sedan, which was an Oracle.
Oh, I see.
Then
Oh,
Ed said you were in a
colours, not
green
set-
two-door when you were in a grey Sultan, which is a four-door. And then later you said, I was trying to blend in, but then Mike with a bus.
Yes, Mike with a bus, indeed.
Mike with the bus, just yeet it into all the piles of cars.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't
Yeah.
catch me, but you did annoy me a little bit. So
That's
mission accomplished,
what I
suppose.
do.
It is known. Which there's no point in getting in the car. I want to change clothes. Let's not play him because he's a default. Let's not play him because he looks too much like Mark. I don't know. I feel like I've played all these characters before, or they're just really, really obvious. I suppose that'll do. I have noticed that doubles and triples tend to be significantly stronger. So yeah, maybe it is multiple fermentations. But then the thing is, you can't ferment beer to particularly high strengths. I thought, because once you get above a certain percentage of alcohol, it kills all the yeast off.
It also gets very sweet.
Is that because you're putting in loads and loads of sugar, desperately trying to get the yeast to produce something useful?
Going to the loo, be right back.
Okay.
Have fun.
Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
You shake more than twice as considered self-pleasuring. Too far?
I think that was a song from the 90s.
Oh, fair enough. Too far?
I'm used to you. I'm
Yeah,
just
what's your
gonna
YouTube rated at?
hide it. I did have a thing actually a couple of days ago, or maybe even yesterday. YouTube was asking me to rate one of my videos for advertising purposes. So I had to say what was in there, and one of the things I posted this on Discord. Let me see if I can find the screenshot. Yeah, here we go. Hateful and derogatory content. The lowest level of which you have to declare is content referencing blah 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 an individual's opinions or actions in a non-hurtful manner. So
They're just banter.
basically, yes, hate or harassment towards individuals or groups is the top level of it. That's the absolute worst you can get.
You're gonna have to be nice to me, and I'm gonna have to be nice to you.
Oh dear.
That'll never
I
happen.
give it 3 days until the channel shuts down.
Oh, 3 days until it gets shut down. Yeah, maybe. I was going to say 3 days. 3 days until one of us fails. That seems very generous. I'm just staring at a
3
wall.
seconds
That's not
seems
YouTube
generous.
content. There's one of those suspicious blue cars down here. I think that's quite a good checkpoint effect because it doesn't break the prey's car or anything like that, but it does force them to change vehicles relatively soon, or their car is just going to be really, really obvious. I quite like that one. Maybe we should add in some more colours as well if we can find some more equally obnoxious colours. Oh, this is even more obnoxious. It says Pete on the front of it. What were you driving what even is this?
Oh.
Why on earth were you driving a Tornado?
There's all
He
the,
may not have had a lot of choice.
I mean, it's just, that seems incredibly risky because it's a sports classic, so you're
It's 'cause
liable to get
all-
blown up.
He's driving a Tornado because he's not allowed to drive Hurricane anymore. Eyo.
Yeah. Oh, yes. That chase where I didn't blow up all 4 of you.
Yes, you
That
did.
was amazing.
Yeah,
Not
and that was
us.
also like half an hour ago.
Not for us.
Did you notice that I could put achievement unlocked quadra-kill in the chat for you?
I did not.
I think
That
Ross
was
has his chat
hilarious.
hidden.
Oh
Fair
yeah,
enough.
I don't have chat showing up. I think I turned it off because it was glitchy and didn't disappear when it should. So I
Fair
see
That's
enough.
because you had it turned permanently on.
This is possible. It is possible I just did it wrong, but.
Hi, Mike. I'm back.
Hey there.
Right. Okay. Oh, I don't know which. I don't know why I'm looking in that menu. I don't know which game mode to go for this time. What do people think? Or does someone else want to have a go at Prey? Actually, that's the thing we could do.
I would request rainbow mode. Rainbow mode.
Ooh, I don't know how to turn it on. Let's see. Location method, blip, Prey, kind of area bound. None.
It's not in
checkpoint.
there because it's not that sort of thing. It's not a game mode.
Okay. Oh, it's a thing that just gets turned on the server, is it?
Yeah.
Right. Rainbow mode is good fun, actually. We should definitely do that. Glug.
Let
Okay,
me
that's...
kill what I
my
assume
second
is
beer has
Pete
disappeared.
first.
Where's it
Ah,
gone?
it's gone.
No.
Shop. Yeah, cheater.
Oh.
What? I see the
don't
beast
know.
dead. I don't know what else to say about that. I do like that we have the option to start a game with location mode none, so you just don't have any chance to find me. I could be anywhere in the city.
That's a good car, Ed.
Thanks, man.
We should have a chase in that.
what's he?
We would never catch each other. He's just in the Flying Deluxe, so we would. It would just be constant missing in midair, like just
I know.
this non-stop
Just
miss.
us being in those cars.
Oh, oh.
I want a railgun in that case, and you don't get to respawn. Max is suggesting we play survival mode, but chat are allowed to give me challenges.
Oh, that's a good idea as
That
well.
sounds like it could be fun. All right, let's give that
Yeah.
a shot. Okay, right. So not that menu. Fire, game setup. Roll, Prey. Sure.
Okay, it's not cool when I suggest we give you challenges, but when chat gives you challenges, it's perfectly fine.
As we all know, Chad is intelligent and sensible and would in no way, shape, or form ever troll Laurence.
True.
So how does survival mode ever end? Is we have
You
to
die.
we have to have a shrinking. Other than that.
You die.
All right, let me rephrase.
Yeah,
that.
you'd
How
have
do
to
I
have
win
a-
survival mode? It has to be.
Yeah, you'd have to have the
Um,
circle shrinking, and when it gets to like 5 meters, then you win or something.
Yeah. So we set it as a time limit.
Right.
So we
okay,
say 25
20
minutes or something,
25 minutes. Okay.
or
Alright.
an arbitrary number.
Yeah, we'll say 20. Okay, if I can survive for 25 minutes, then we'll call it good. Then we'll say I have one. Okay, so survival map. Random. Doesn't matter. Number of checkpoint. I don't know how to turn this off. How do I turn checkpoints off?
Tracking mode.
No, it doesn't matter because it's survival.
Yeah, but survival, so I won't actually see any of it. So no location method, progression, give you slow and a pistol, I suppose. Gunshots visible. Pregnancy circle. No, don't need that. Right. Okay, that's probably okay. Are you able to turn rainbow mode on, Tristan?
No, AI cars on.
Sorry.
AI cars.
Actually, if we're doing just survival and me given
Yeah, you don't want
challenges,
it.
Do we want any sort of do we need any sort
We
of
need a
location?
tracking
Oh.
mode, right?
Yeah, they need
Oh,
some
we've
way
got-
of
Yeah,
tracking.
there we go. We need the location method needs to be. Oh, let's check. So, area, presumably one of the area ones.
No, it's not one of those things. I've put it in
Oh.
chat in YouTube.
Oh, AI. Oh, right. No, I mean that's rainbow. Oh, okay.
That's what you said.
It is, but then I changed my mind because I confused myself. But yeah, let's have rainbow mode because that's fun. I am blue, but there's no purple. so
Yabba-dabba-da.
we'll probably be okay with
I'm
that.
blue.
I wondered how long it'd be till somebody started singing on stream. I mean, Al isn't here, so it's normally I was hoping it'd be a little bit longer. But okay, so for reference, my colour is blue. I'm not the usual pink that I get assigned by this for some reason. So yeah, never mind. Okay, so
What you don't know is that because you're in a separate voice channel, you don't hear the perfect barbershop quartet that goes on when you're not here.
I've heard what singing is like when it's done over voice chats. I just don't want to know. Okay, so right, let's go. I'll try and survive for 25 minutes and also try and do challenges as chat throws them at me. Other than that, we'll just have. Should we just go? I mean, we don't need to start a game mode because we've got the rainbow
Yep.
mode on.
And chat,
Yeah.
be cruel, please.
Chat.
Yeah, the game ends at 20 minutes past.
Right. Okay.
You Tristan, can you tank it for us, please?
Yeah, give an announcement every sort of 5 minutes or so to update people.
Yep.
Max says he loves you, Ed. Grats.
Thanks.
Why am I being followed by a police car? I
So,
don't have a wanted
Do,
level.
Trying to clear all
do
cars.
the hunters get told what the challenge is at all?
No.
Use your discretion.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would say
there may be some where they do get told.
let chat decide. So
What
Yeah.
either
It's
it's
part of the challenge, yeah.
yeah, it's a hidden challenge or an open challenge.
Yeah, that sounds sensible. Okay. Right. Let's go.
Have fun.
I'll try.
Right, and kicking out of Discord.
Thank you. Right, so for anyone who isn't familiar with this game mode, Rainbow mode means that any car that spawns, basically when an AI car spawns in, it will spawn in the colour of the nearest player. And that's not quite strictly 100% true, but it's close enough. That's basically how it works. So the idea is now that I now have to survive for the next 25 minutes, driving around the city, whilst trying to complete any challenges that you guys throw at me in chat, and we'll see how it goes. Be nice, be realistic, but also try and be funny. And well, yeah, I'm open to most things. Let's see what happens. And I'm going to try and actually drive properly. Right, so I'm going to bimble vaguely around the city. I'm going to keep my eyes peeled for any cars in hunter colours, because if I see cars in hunter colours, it means there must be a hunter nearby, possibly in said car. But otherwise, well, we'll see how it goes. I'll just try and drive reasonably sensibly as well. Drive a taxi. Right, the hardest part of driving a taxi is going to be finding a taxi. Let's head down. I'll head down to the airport and see if I can find a taxi down there. That's generally a good place to find them, I think. Okay, so you'll have to give me a moment. If you see a taxi, sing out, because I will then immediately go and try and grab it. But I know that in this mode, I just feel that taxis don't spawn very often. So it might take me a little while to find them, but I do think they spawn a lot at the airport, so I'm going to head down that way. Drive in reverse for 10 seconds, a minute after, within the first minute after seeing a hunter. Okay, gotcha. I'll try and do that as well. Again, shout if you see a hunter that I haven't seen. I do have to not only see the hunter, but I have to identify that they are actually a hunter rather than just a car in a hunter colour. But the hunters will also have the coloured headlights and the underglow, so it should make them reasonably obvious. And at the moment, I'm only seeing blue cars, so things seem to be okay at the moment. Oh, at the cinema. Okay, if there aren't any in the airport, I'll go back up to the cinema, because at the moment I'm already, well, halfway to the airport, so it seems like a good place to choose. Or it seems like a good... I'm pretty sure taxis spawn a lot at the airport, so I'll give that a try. If there aren't any there, then I'll go back and do the and try the cinema. I'm open to other challenges. If you want to give me something else to think about while I'm trying to do this, then feel free to shout out another challenge, and I'll see what I can do. I mean, if they're completely incompatible, then I'll try and do them sequentially. But ooh, I see yellow vehicles ahead of me. Ed must be around somewhere. Now that probably means that Ed, if I know that Ed's around somewhere, he probably knows that I'm around somewhere. This sunset is making it really hard to spot what car's what. That car in front of me kind of looks like a taxi. It looks like the sort of the classic New York taxi rather than the maybe it's just because it's yellow, but it did look kind of taxi-like to me. Okay, there's yellow cars everywhere, so Ed is somewhere around here. So I'm going to try not to hang around in this area. If I can just get through here, I can drop down into... Yeah, I can drop down to the airport this way. Okay, cinema would be... Okay, sound like... Well, you know the... You know GTA a lot better than I do, Max, so yeah, maybe the cinema would have been a good place to go. But I am now at the airport, so fingers crossed. There's usually some round here, so top or bottom. We'll see how this goes. The downside of airport, of course, is that I'm now exposed on the edge of the map, and there's only a few ways out of here. The upside is that I'm way out on the edge of the map, so unless the hunters drive way out here to try and find me, it's going to be really, really hard to find me. Ooh, is that a taxi? There's a taxi.
Are you standing me up again?
Whoa there, taxi. Yeah, rolling a car onto its roof probably will just happen at some point. This taxi's clearly picked up some passengers, well, because it started moving and it's full of people. So, right, I have a taxi. It's a blue bagel taxi. Now, what's the best way? What's the best way to roll a car onto its roof? Because they don't tend to roll when you just corner. I'm going to need to find something to sort of to ping it over. That was curb was slightly. Oh, here we go. This is perfect. This will allow me to roll my car over. No, it won't. Even when I want to roll a car, I can't. Jeez. Right. Let's try that again. Maybe if I hit it at slightly higher speed, I'll have a slightly better chance of rolling it. Yeah, it's a blue taxi, yes, but I found a taxi. Max, I think you might be quite. I think you might be quite a long way behind on the stream. I think you've got a lot of stream lag. Oop. I'm trying to. Oh, bloody hell! I will continue trying to roll a car until I do finally manage it. Just looking for. What if I hit it? What if I sort of make it tumble in the air? Does that count as a roll? What if I do this? There we go. That's on its. That's on its roof. That definitely counts. Okay, challenge achieved. Now let's try and get out of here. In fact, I think I might have to ditch the taxi now, which seems like a bit of a shame after I drove all this way to get it. But it's kind of battered because somebody rolled it onto its roof. What have we got here? Another Sultan. Yeah, let's have another Sultan. I kind of want to switch to a different to a different coloured car, but that means finding some hunters, and that's never a good idea. Bonk. Alarm, stop now, please. Right, I'm now out of challenges except the one where I have to drive backwards after seeing a hunter, because I don't remember seeing Ed. Well, I don't think I saw Ed. I saw lots of cars his colour. But I didn't see him, or at least I didn't knowingly see him. So I'm going to come back here. I am going to head back a bit more into the city. Okay, Max. Yeah, I drove a taxi and I managed to roll it upside down. I've now switched back to a Sultan because my taxi was battered because it got rolled upside down, basically.
Hey, looking forward to seeing you on set, buddy.
Now, if you want to tell me you could tell me to go looking for specific colours of car, perhaps that's a possibility, because there's going to be orange, light green, dark green, and yellow cars scattered around the city, and of course blue ones. Finding a blue car shouldn't be too difficult. I might be able to do that one. Otherwise, yeah, go nuts. Give me some suggestions. At the moment, it's nice and peaceful over here. Everyone's in. Every car is blue, which means I'm nice and safe. Well, as safe as it gets. The hunters will be whiffling around the city at fairly high speed looking for me, but getting any green car. Okay, let's go looking for green cars then. So that means, in order to find green cars, 2 sprunk signs. Okay, I'll combine the two. I'll go looking for sprunk signs, and I know where one of them. I know where there's one. If I find the same one twice, does that count? Or 2 in the same area? Ooh, there's an orange car. That's not a shade of green. But it does suggest that Mike is probably somewhere nearby and might be telling everyone else, "Ooh, I've seen a blue car, I've seen a blue car, I've seen a blue car." Or he might have driven off and this is just one that's not despawned since he was around. Ooh, there's another orange car. Okay, that came from behind me, so that suggests that Mike is fairly close by. Okay, so once I get in, they'll be told I've gone in a specific coloured car. So, as far as they know, the specific colour could be blue. It's probably unlikely. It wouldn't be particularly exciting to say get in a blue car, but it could happen. So I think Mike is probably somewhere behind me, maybe off in that sort of direction, based on where that car came from. But he doesn't seem to be. There don't seem to be any more orange cars around, so he doesn't seem to have found me yet. So things are going. We shall see how well they carry on going. But at the moment, I am completely surrounded by blue cars, so I feel reasonably safe. As I say, this is as safe as it gets. It's probably not going to last, but I'm not doing too bad. I can go to the fish restaurant. I'm not sure I'm not sure I can actually eat there. Maybe that's a good way. Yeah, I could head over that way while I'm looking for a green car to change into. Beeping at a hunter requires me to see a hunter. yeah, reversing for 10 seconds after seeing a hunter is still active. So if I do see one, that's going to be my first thing to do. And as I say, if any of you see it, sure you see a hunter, and then basically that means coloured headlights or coloured underglow, then let me know, and I'll take that as me having seen one as well. Ooh, green light. Let's go. So full throttle for 20 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's Mike. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 12, there's a odd second, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And now sometime within the next minute I have to do 10 seconds of backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No braking during a chase until I've lost sight of them. Oh, I need to beat the hunters, don't I? Is one? Yeah, there he is. Maybe I should. Maybe the beeping should be just when he's actually in front of me, or maybe that should be when I'm not in a chase. I don't know. Okay, so no braking until I've lost sight of them. There's some green cars. I can change to one of those. Right, we're on the wheels, please. There we go. Ah! No, I'm getting shot at, and I'm in a sports car, I think. Yes, I'm in a Sultan. So that means yeah, and they've got one of my tyres. Oh, I nearly braked them. That's not braking during a chase is really difficult. I've taken my finger off the trigger and I'm just holding the bottom of the controller now in an attempt to actually get that right, because it's sort of, it's instinctive. Yeah, beeping has to be when not in a chase, otherwise it doesn't make any sense. I still need to find a green car and a sprunk sign and a fish restaurant. Oh, 2 sprunk signs, sorry. I know there's a sprunk sign down here at the jump, so that could be the first one. Right, okay, I've lost them. Oop, I was going to say I've lost them from the chase. There's Ed. Right, there's the sprunk jump. That counts as a sign as far as I'm concerned. There's one. And I'm now no longer in a chase, so I can go back to driving properly. But I still need to find a green car, go to the fish restaurant, and beep at a hunter. I don't want this blue car anymore. It does not live up to my standards. Where is something that isn't terrible? Oh, suddenly daytime. What? Thank you. Okay, let's switch from one salt. Is that food? That's a food tow. Oh well, it'll do. Right. Now I need to go looking. I need to go looking for a green car. That's top of the list. But also I'm going to head over to the fish restaurant because that's another thing I can do, and I'll keep my eye out for other sprunk jumps on the sprunk signs on the way, and also for. Oh, there's Ed. Success! I beeped him. He didn't notice. Oh. Is the car colour issue sorted? Kill 5 pedestrians. I'm going to take that as hit 5 pedestrians, because I'm not always sure whether I've killed them or not. There's a green car, let's have that one. Well, I would, but there's a mic, like, right there. I think that's given me away. If it hasn't, Mike needs his eyes checking. No, it has given me away. Right, okay. Well, while I'm on the run, I can probably think about the stunt jumps, I suppose. Although I'm going the wrong way. I was going to go for the sprunk jump back there to... No, not fist fighting. That's ridiculous. I'll just get shot. There's no point. And it's happened once successfully, but it basically, no, it just doesn't work. Right, Mike is overshot. That's good. I can go back this way and try and get away. Like this. Great success? No. No success. I think there's a way through here, but I'm not certain. Yeah, we get this way through. Oh, there's one pedestrian. I should probably do that when I'm not in a chase, actually. If I'm already in a chase, it doesn't really count. So, right, now, I don't know why I'm just driving in a straight line. I'm fully aware that Mike is driving an identical car to mine, and therefore he's going to have the same sort of forward top speed, similar handling, and therefore I'm going to have to do something a little bit different to, in order to get away from them. There's Ed going in the opposite direction. That's probably good. Whoa. Hold the car under a little bit of control. Right, is anyone behind me still? Yes. Is he still behind me? Yes. Let's go. Oh, this way. Apparently, that was a little bit faster than I meant to go. I didn't mean to drop down onto the highway. I see a pile of smashed car bits going that over there. That makes me think that Mike ended up on top of the ramp bit. So that's good. Sneak across like that. Right, this seems like a good opportunity to switch to a green car. No, it doesn't. There's actual mark. You a green car? Yes, you are a green car. Let's try and get this. Wait for one of these cars to stop.
This is it.
There we go. Green car. Green car achievement. Achieved, rather. Got to find a roof to climb on. Okay, there's lots of roofs in Vinewood you can get up onto, so that seems like quite a good one. And you can announce to them that I've got in a hunter-coloured car as well. Can you get on the roof of here? No, not from here. Okay, this won't do then. I know that most of the ladders that go up onto rooftops are sort of in alleyways and around the backs of buildings and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure you can get onto the top of this building, because I think I've done it before. Does this count as climbing onto a rooftop? I don't think it does. So I'll yeah, I don't think I can count this. Hey Steve, welcome to the stream. Yes, yes, I thought it'd be fun to do this all this live for a change. I feel like I'm totally on a rooftop, but given that I was able to essentially drive up here, it feels a bit wrong. I think I might try and find another rooftop to go onto. Oh, cool! So it's one of the things that actually so the Manhunt brought you to the channel. Excellent. I'm aware that Manhunt is one of my less popular series, which is a bit of a shame because I feel like it deserves quite a lot more. I think there's enough entertainment and content of it in there that I feel that it should do better than it does. I'm still trying to find a roof. I want to climb. I feel like getting onto a roof requires climbing up a ladder, but I haven't found a good ladder yet. One pedestrian. All right, let's go up this this fire escape. Ow, fire escape. Get up. Does fire escape go to the roof? It does. Right. Okay. Here we go. This is a proper roof. Yeah, so what we're playing at the moment is chatter suggesting challenges to me for me to try and do during the session, and I'm trying to get through as many as I can. There we go. That's a rooftop. I'm not going up to the next one. This is a rooftop. This totally counts. So I'm going to head back down again now. I can get back in the green car actually. That's still in reasonably good nick. No, down. Down off the bloody roof. Goodness sake.
Shithead.
What? Why am I getting attacked by postal workers? I mean, clearly they've gone post. Oh, it's because I ran over one of their friends. That's why.
That's what I thought.
Let's just run away from them. Actually, let's run away from them a bit and then turn around and run them over. Because I still need to run over another 4 pedestrians. 4, 5. There we go. Challenge complete. And I've not got any blood on the front of the car. Nice. Apparently, post workers don't actually count as people. Okay. What else is what's remaining now? Could people could somebody remind me of all the challenges I've got left that I haven't completed? So there's take the door off the car. Okay, that's easy enough. If I get in and just start driving without... Oh, missed. There we go. Right, now I need to go 2 minutes before I'm allowed to switch out of this car. Or try to blend in for at least 2 minutes. Okay, let's go. Now there's blue cars around here again, so I'm quite optimistic about this. The mode we're playing at the moment has all the cars with it when they spawn in will appear in the basically I like to say they'll appear in the colour of the closest hunter. That's not quite true. It's not quite accurate, but it's close enough. It gives you an idea of what's going on. So if I see blue cars around me, then there's probably no hunters nearby. If I see light green cars, marks nearby, and so on. Yeah, blowing up cars is difficult because I don't have any weapons. So if I had sticky bombs, then sure, but it's not realistic, unfortunately. I didn't notice what time I started doing this. It's 13 minutes past now, so I'll stop at 15 minutes past. Or I'll stop worrying about this challenge at 15 minutes. Ooh, there's some orange cars, and there's Mike, in fact. There's an orange car that's driving like a lunatic. So let's go this way instead. Oh, I was supposed to be initiating a chase. Alright. I mean, I could do that, but does that count against the driving around with the door missing for 2 minutes and trying to be incognito? Not sure. Alright, let's go and follow Mike and try and ram him. That's not Mike, it's just another orange car.
Is this for real?
I can't see, I don't know which way he's gone. There's an orange car coming from this direction though, so I'm going to guess and there's a blue car coming from over here now. No, I think I've lost Mike. I don't think I can do that challenge. But I'll go looking for him anyway. No, I can't see him. Yeah, make Mike. No, that's not Mike. But there are orange cars over here, so he's probably come this way. I was going to say let's find Mike by driving towards where the orange cars are coming from, but they're coming from all over. So there's a blue car there, so it's probably not that way. Lots of orange cars here. That's good. He was in a Futo earlier, but not that Futo. Here's an idea. Let's switch into an identical car to his again, because that's I find that entertaining. Oh wait, yeah, I have been in the no door car for long enough now. That's alright. And maybe if I approach Mike in a Mike-coloured car, he'll be less suspicious, or more suspicious. Who knows? No, he should be blind to orange cars by now. He'll have seen so many of them. Right, so there's orange cars over this way, so he must, in theory, he's probably somewhere in this general direction. But finding him is going to be interesting. I hope he's not hiding from me. I've got 5 minutes to find Mike. I would like to get this one done. It'd be interesting. Have you been keeping track of how many challenges I've completed, Tristan? Because it would be interesting to know. Oh, I forgot about the stunt jumps. You're quite right. I'm too busy looking for Mike at the moment. That's Mark. That's the wrong one. The wrong M. That's Ed, clearly. No, I'm not out here to ram Ed. That's no use. Go away, Ed. I don't want to ram you. That looked a bit like Mike over there. I saw a car moving suspiciously. Maybe not. Ed is still following me. I feel like I should be able to blow his car up, but no, I think I have driven sports cars, so I can't. And there's so much orange around here, but no actual Mike. Dark greens, there's pieces that way somewhere. Let's try this way. This is where the oranges seem to be. Do you think they've worked out that I'm trying to ram Mike and Mike has gone off and hidden to troll me? That's the sort of thing he would do. If he worked out that it was him I was aiming for, he would totally go off and hide. Oh, there's a car that's suspicious. That I think is real Mike. Oh no, they're shooting at me. And I'm kind of oh, damn it! Yeah, I should have run. I was trying to run away a bit to then sort of regroup and come back and have a bit of an opportunity to ram it, but that didn't go quite as I wanted it to. That was fun though. Yeah, the ram Mike challenge was my undoing because I ended up getting tangled up with the hunters because I was trying to get close to you when it was not and then just got stuck.
I saw you completely by chance, by the way. I'd ran into Mike about a minute beforehand, going the opposite direction. Then I saw you in an orange car, so I knew it wasn't Mike.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was driving like a loon at that point because I was busy desperately trying to find Mike in order to complete that challenge.
Ah.
Ooh, Buccaneer with
As I said earlier, but you didn't hear, but I think this mode with the chat giving you challenges is quite awesome. I mean,
yeah, we enjoyed that.
Yeah, that's good.
And how many of the challenges were you told about? Actually, what we should do is have you told about all of the challenges when I complete them, and then told about the
we did.
ones.
That is what
that
happened.
wasn't all of them. There were
Oh, was it not?
as well. So it was drive a taxi, drive in reverse within a minute for 10 seconds within a minute after seeing the first hunter.
Okay, you didn't tell us about
Okay,
that one.
no.
No, someone was
That was
watching
why I
them
was
do
going
it.
backwards when you were chasing me.
Roll a
right.
car on its roof.
I rolled the taxi.
So that was a
Yeah.
taxi, yeah. That one we did get
you
told
told us
about.
that, yeah.
Get in a green car. I didn't say what
You didn't
colour
say
car.
green, no. You said
The specified colour.
specific player, yeah.
Yep.
He also didn't
Find
specify
2
which
sprunk
green.
signs.
I found one
Sorry.
sprunk sign. Didn't complete that one.
20 seconds at full throttle.
Did that. That was when
Uh,
Mike spotted me just before I started going backwards because I was hooning across the
Yeah.
city because I had to get full throttle.
It's
for
a
20
long
seconds.
time.
Beat
Yeah.
your horn at a hunter.
Oh yeah, did
That one I told
Beep-
them.
Beep's dead.
I told him about 5 seconds after you did it.
Yeah,
So it wasn't
I-
an immediate
As soon as he
giveaway.
said it, I knew I had to go back, but it was too late. You were already
So,
gone.
at that point, Lawrence, were you aware that we didn't see your colour until after that challenge was completed?
I wasn't aware at that point, but I was
So-
aware. Tristan made me aware afterwards. that there
Yeah.
was-
Yeah, when it went to
Got you
daytime,
the colours.
that's when that.
Yep.
So we were in hard mode at that point.
yeah.
Yeah, so I saw you at that point, and I was like, oh, he's in an orange car. And then Pete came along. Was it you? No, who was it? Was it you?
I was then
I-
thinking,
I
wait,
asked-
what?
Yeah, I asked right after you said he's in an orange car. I was like, "Are there any blue cars?" And you were like, "No," and I was like, "That's bad."
3
Yeah.
stunt jumps.
I didn't do that
Kill
still.
5 pedestrians.
Did that.
You got a quad kill at the end of that, so I just announced quad kill.
Yeah, that was really confusing.
Oh. I assume you could figure out that meant he killed 4 people.
No.
Yeah, but it's like,
Yeah.
what?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
I think it was the fact that Mike had said quad kill previously, so we're like, are you reading out chat and
Yeah.
I haven't caught up, or
Oh.
Yeah, okay. I didn't hear Mike say that.
It was
it
when,
said
when,
in
when, you,
text
when they
chat.
all blew up in the previous run.
Oh,
yeah.
right.
Yeah, I put achievement unlocked,
Yep.
quadra kill.
Right.
Max
Well,
says,
see, Lawrence.
Max says I completed 13 challenges in 22 minutes and survived for 22 minutes.
not
I
bad.
think that's
I'm
the
on to
better
the
than
roof.
the other channel that we don't talk about.
Yeah, the challenges were coming very thick and fast. The hardest part of that was trying to remember all of the things I was supposed to be doing. And whether the answer, I don't know. I mean, if we had a moderator who was, if we designed it so that a moderator would be doing it, then we'd have Tristan or somebody telling me the challenges one at a time as I completed.
Yep.
the
Kind of
previous
trickle them
ones.
through, so
I
like
mean,
you
that's
maybe have.
basically what Tristan did, right?
No. I
No,
was-
he had multiple challenges active at once.
I think that's probably right. But you still trickle them, so like you'd only ever have 3 challenges at any one time, for example. As you complete one, you then get another one,
maybe. I
or
was
maybe
just
2.
trying,
You know,
I
a
was just
number.
trying to remember all of the ones that I've been given and just trying to do them all at once, which was interesting, but yeah, fun.
Yeah, you kind of need like I don't know, WhatsApp or something up on your other screen, so you can have a chat log of them appearing that only you can see.
Well,
Yeah.
if it's
Max is
you have it
volunteering to be
something
challenge
in
master
game.
next time, so.
Mhm.
And so that
Yep.
could work because I've got Discord open as well. I could have a Discord chat directly with Max open, and he could send me the ones. He could be my my challenge master, and I could still have
Yeah,
I could still have game chat open, so I can talk to people.
and then you can just edit the message and strike through as you do them.
Yeah, potentially.
Well, to keep it simple, I'd ask,
Or delete the
in
message.
that case, Max to update the list as he goes.
Yeah, that's what.
It's just,
yeah,
yeah.
that's what I'm
Sorry, yeah. Max does that. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically there'll be X number of live ones, then as they're completed, that one that's just been done gets strike through, and then another
Yeah.
one appears.
Yeah, that'd be quite
Yep.
good. It does. It relies on Max being somewhere where he has an internet connection. That isn't 2 tin cans and a piece of string, of course.
But no, I think I enjoyed that mode. That was
Yeah, that
really
was a lot
interesting.
of fun, and I
Yeah.
think it's really nice to have a mode that involves chat as well, because
Exactly.
Yeah. Definitely varies it.
and it means it's not just we're not just doing what we normally do, but with people watching. We're actually using the fact that we're
Interactive.
streaming.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I think
kudos
we
to
found that
us
thing
for
we were talking about, which is the what do we do to change it up to add something nice and spicy in there to make a real difference and rejuvenate
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's crowdsource the variety. So yeah,
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah, getting
Awesome.
What I
weapons
do-
would be useful. I mean, if I had a full set of weapons, then you could include things like kill a hunter, and I could try and find somewhere to hide and take pot shots with the machine gun or something.
All I'm saying is that technically right now you can kill hunters.
Shit. Look out.
Yeah, but I don't have any guns, and it's difficult.
You can stun one and then punch them a lot.
Or you can spot
Just
them in the
stun
wrong
them over
car.
and over again.
Well, yeah, stun
I
them.
don't even have a stun gun at the moment.
Stun one and then drive over them.
I don't even have a stun gun at the moment.
Oh,
You
because
should always stun them.
Yeah, someone did. I think it might have been Max. Somebody suggested start a fist fight with a hunter, and I vetoed that one because it's a silly idea.
I thought that was just with a pedestrian.
Was it just with a random pedestrian? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. In that case, I'd have happily done that. But I thought that was implied with a hunter. My bad. Right, I think it's about 10:30 now, so I think it's probably about time to call it a night, even if we have found something new and fun to play with. And the number of viewers has dropped off quite a bit, so we're not going to get a huge number of suggestions potentially. So should we call it a night and give it another shot? So in 2 weeks we'll have another go and give this another try.
Sounds good
Like
to
a
me.
plan.
Yeah, or you join the hunter side for one run, and we'll
Yeah.
have.
Do that as well. Yes.
You can show, if you want to show anyone who's in chat, what the hunter side is like.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, sounds good. Well, I think we'll do that next time. So in 2 weeks. So yeah, come back in a couple of weeks and we'll do some more of this sort of shenaniganery and see how things go. So thank you everyone who's joined and is watching, and thank you very much to everyone who was making suggestions, because that's what keeps made that game mode work. I hope you've enjoyed the stream, and I'll see you next time.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
chat.
Bye, chat.
Bye, guys.
Bye.